We've determined 5 of the 6 grand finalists across this weekend. It's time to find out who the final side will be to qualify through to next weekend's grand final. We're out here at Lions Stadium for the NPL men's semi-final between Lions FC and Moreton Bay United. It's Rafe Griffin with you in commentary this evening as we take you through the two team lineups. It's a familiar look about Lions FC as they take the park this evening. For Moreton Bay, as we take a look at their squad as well, they've been in the grand final a couple of times now and looking to return again in the 2018 season. We couldn't do this without the support of sponsors, and Lions FC are appreciative of the ongoing support of Motorama and Luxury Paints, while Moreton Bay would like to say thanks to Electronic Scooters and Golf Globe. Our match officials powered by Total Tools this evening. The referee is Casey Rybelt, assisted by Anton Shettinen and Oleg Labutz. The two teams in their final pre-match huddles, and I'm joined by Jonty Richter this evening. Jonty, Lions have had the wood over Moreton Bay this season, but in one-off games, anything's possible, isn't it?
Yeah, good evening, Rafe. Great to be here tonight. A great night for football as well. Terrific weather. Pitch is in good condition. It's had heavy traffic this season, but in fine playing conditions tonight, which is a credit to the groundsman here at Lions. But yeah, Lions obviously taking out their minor premiership. The team to beat this season, but as you said, semi-finals football. Anything can happen in these one-off games, and Moreton Bay have been there before on a number of occasions, so I'm sure they're up for this one.
And it will be the visitors that will have opening possession in this first half. Looks like we're just about ready to go. We're in the late shift on Sunday night. As Jonty said, the conditions aren't too bad. A little bit of wind early in the day. It's died off a little bit in the last half hour or so. Expecting a tight affair potentially in this one. Lions won the opening encounter between these two sides early in the year 2-0 before the return bout. And it was a 1-0 victory to Lions on that occasion.
Both sides almost at full strength as well, Rafe, which is good to see.
As we get underway, it's semi-final one from the NPL Queensland. It's Lions FC up against Moreton Bay from Lions Stadium. And the opening throw-in for the match will come Josh Brindle South's way. Headed on there by Bernardi for Moreton Bay. A Rop gets the foot on the ball towards Capello, and it'll be the visitors throwing in the far corner.
Should be a good battle between O'Rock and Brindle South down this touchline here. Two very fit and physically able players, so it should be a good battle tonight.
Both with plenty of height as well. Ball attempted to be played through by Bernardi. Got the second bite of the cherry. A Rop plays it low for Janowski, the former Lions player. And first shot of the evening drifts off target. Lions, of course, played in the FFA Cup round of 16 during the week. A tight 1-0 loss to Adelaide. What effect do you think that might have on the squad there this evening, Jonty, given that midweek count? Has it taken something out of their legs potentially?
Yeah, certainly a very physical or tiring match for a lot of the players, but just you'd hope that high doesn't sit them in a low here this evening, but I'm sure they'll be up for it, as I said. Apart from that loss, certainly have that winning feeling and hope to continue that tonight.
Simic turns the ball over to Capello. Here's a Rop. He's up against the Lions playing Tommy Jarrett, it looked like that time. He's certainly been busy here early on, has a Rop. Now Janowski.
Great start by the Jets here, and Lions certainly know they're up for it. so far this evening. But yeah, few sloppy passes there from Lions, getting put under pressure by the Jets nice and early. So good to see from the Jets.
Uncharacteristic of Lions. I'm sure they'll work out those cobwebs in the very near future. Thompson. As Thompson, the other Thompson for Lions, Andy Thompson, clears away. Darren Thompson again getting involved in the 17 shirt for Moreton Bay. The referee was playing advantage for Lions' way, so the whistle has been blown. As I said earlier, has been tight between these two sides during the year. A win to Lions back in round 8 on the 24th of March, 2-0 on that occasion. It was Jesse Daly that scored both goals on that occasion. Of course, he's over in the US with the Seattle Sounders 2 team. And then the return game on the 14th of July, round 21, Marek Medell scored the lone goal for Lions in a 1-0 victory against Moreton Bay. Reece Gwynn-Jones sent off for Moreton Bay on that occasion. Played down the left, straight to Arup though. Thompson, quick back heel by Capello. Thompson being forced wide, Bernardi's out there.
I mean, only 3 minutes played, but Moreton Bay certainly looking the sharpest side at the moment. So maybe a little bit of tired legs there for the Lions players, but hopefully they ease themselves into this match.
Basically all the ball so far has been down this right-hand side of the park. Bernardi tried to thread one through there for Arup. It's cleared away. Makwase, he's got Medell in front of him. And Bernardi again arrives on the scene. It's taken a touch off Makwase as the assistant picked that one up. He has.
Poor decision there by the referee and linesman. Didn't want to make a decision either way, but they certainly got that one wrong there with the touch coming off Makwase last, but play on nonetheless.
Borean with the distinctive beanie. We got behind what is actually behind the beanie, Jonty, or not?
There is a little bit of a story. I think he played over in Italy for a year or two, and it's something that keeps him comfortable, I believe. But I just put it down to a bit of crazy, which you won't all goalkeeper. If your goalkeeper isn't a little bit crazy, I'd be more worried. So whatever works for him. But he'd certainly be one of the, if not the best shot stopper in the league this year.
100%, and probably, I'll use the word eccentric. I heard in the
That's probably
pre-season
better than crazy.
I heard in the pre-season camp when it was 38 degrees down the Gold Coast, he was still getting around in a tracksuit.
I'm pretty sure he had the neck scarf on as well down there, so I don't know if that was a trying to lose weight thing or, as again, that word eccentric, we'll go with that one.
Doesn't matter, it's effective anyway, as he's shown this year, the former Moreton Bay player.
He certainly knows how to win a title. I think he did with the Jets. So
back in 2015.
Some good experience there at the back for the Lions.
Kim drifts out on the right. Making the run is Carlos. Touch back. Shepherd, and the referee has found the free kick right outside the box.
Great opportunity for the Lions here. Finally got down this end of the pitch, and this is certainly one that could test the Jets out.
So the wall being set. Arup with the height in there assisting as well. Looks like Bazard is asking for 4 of his players in the wall.
Bit of a discussion by the Lions players, but I'm pretty certain number 2, Andy Thompson, will be taking this one on all set plays for the Lions this season. So I think he's due a goal. I'm not sure if he's actually got this one this season. So to avoid the pants down run, he should put this one away.
Thankfully, he's got 2 goals, so he won't be doing that.
Good.
I think all bar the keepers have scored at least 1 goal this year in the Lions setup. It will be Thompson, Andy Thompson, that will have this free kick.
Great effort.
Yeah, the oohs and ahs coming from the crowd.
They hit the stanchion, I think, or maybe just past the post. But Moreton Bay keeper, I think, either said, I've got this one covered, or it's in the back of the net. But good decision by him nonetheless.
So Moreton Bay had the early attacking opportunities, but momentum just swung a little bit back Lions' way in the last couple of minutes or so as Carlos makes a valuable intercept for the home side. Player that stood out on Wednesday night in that FFA Cup loss. Lions coming off a comprehensive 4-0 victory against Redlands last weekend, including a hat-trick scored by Marek Merdell, and there he is, the focus point up front for the men in orange. Moreton Bay had a 1-0 win against the Young Raw last weekend. Nick Bernardi was the scorer. They attack down the left-hand side through Brenton Fox. At the feet there of Borean. Out for his right back. Again gets involved. Lions certainly patient in how they want the ball to come out from the back. Jared scooting a bit further forward. Thompson slides one through. Just a fraction too far there, but Lions starting to get into their rhythm, Jonty.
Yeah, certainly advancing up the field. Jets sitting a bit deeper. I think that's just showing the patience there of the Lions, just trying to settle things down a bit. That frantic start was certainly favouring the Jets, but yeah, Lions easing into it.
Hope you're enjoying the coverage on a Sunday night here in Brisbane. If you are watching, let us know where you're watching in from, your thoughts on this game. Anything else you might want to discuss, drop us a line on the Facebook comments section of the live stream. Of course, as I said, we've already had 5 semi-finals decided. The FQPL yesterday, where both games were 3-0 victories. Firstly to Eastern Suburbs over Logan Lightning, as Bernardi heads back there for Bayzad. And then Peninsula Power kept their winning run continuing as they defeated South by 3-0 yesterday. So the FQPL grand final next week between Peninsula Power hosting Eastern Suburbs. The two teams promoted into next year's NPL. Makwase plays it off for Brindle South. Intercepted by Bernardi. Who do you think the key players tonight might be, Jonty, for either side?
Yeah, look, obviously Medell up front for Lions. He's just been banging in the goals, and really just need to give him two chances, and he certainly generally takes at least one of them, as Lions have a chance here.
Forced an error there out of the keeper uncharacteristically, and Shepherd delivered the shot on goal.
But I think Matty Byrne at the back's are really important. Usually you don't pick out a defender, but I mean he's a very experienced player with a number of clubs at this level. So I think he's quite an important player for the Jets. But certainly the biggest thing for me is Lions only conceding 11 goals all year. So it's going to be a real tough one for the Jets. So if they do get a chance, they really do need to take it tonight, because Lions usually don't give up too many.
What an amazing record that is, conceding less than 1 in every 2 games they've played this season.
And I'm pretty sure that's the least amount of goals conceded by any NPL team this year in the whole of Australia. So certainly something that is in the Lions' favour tonight, and also in the NPL final series to come.
Where they'll come up against the Edgeworth Eagles here in a couple of weeks' time, but we've got to get through this semi-final and potentially a grand final next weekend before the attention will switch to the National NPL final series. Janowski. Is there a man waiting there? It's Fox, who's got a bit of pace there on that left-hand side. Comes up against Andy Thompson, who puts in a good effort to clear away. However, the ball's turned straight back over there to the Jets.
Yeah, good vision there by Janowski. I don't think Fox quite read it as well, but certainly a dangerous ball in behind Andy Thompson there.
The lanky Arop Bernardi, as I said, the goal scorer last week in the Jets' victory against the Raw Youth. Bit of a run here for Bernardi, plays it off the left foot, and Borean just content to see that across the face of goal. The NPL Women's was decided earlier today after the Gap had a 2-0 victory against Souths last night. It was the Raw NTC that had a comprehensive victory over Lions in the NPLW earlier today, 4-1. So that sets up a Gap versus Raw NTC grand final last week, and next week I should say. And hopefully you're watching the game earlier today between Olympic and Western Pride. Western Pride scored the opening goal through Joe Duckworth, but 2 Alex Smith stunners, including a stunning free kick for the winner, as we see Liddell just glance across the face of goal. So Olympic through to their 3rd NPL Grand Final after a 2-1 victory against Western Pride earlier today.
Yeah, he's quite strong in the air, Liddell there, so unlucky there for him to put that one wide, but yeah, certainly a handful in the box for any side. But Jets is probably one of the few sides that match Lions physically in the league. So it's they've got some quite big boys as well, where Lions usually can get over the top of some of the lesser teams in the league, so to speak, with the physicality. But yeah, Jets, I think, are up to that task.
Getting on his bike is Campbell. Was he hassled there? Yes, says referee Casey Rybelt, and the yellow card issued to Tommy Jarrett. Must be some Jets supporters near us, Jonty. They were looking for a different shade of card.
Yeah. But good decision there by the referee. Certainly a yellow card, but nothing worse. There's a fair bit of cover there and still quite a way to go. But yeah, another just shows you there, you've got to be on your toes. Another good ball in behind here by the Jets, and that's somewhere, if Lions are pushing up, that's a way they can certainly get in behind this Lions side and maybe find a crack in that defensive armour.
So Tommy Jarrett just going to have to run the tightrope for the next 75 minutes. Free kick resulting for the Jets. Looks to be Darren Thompson that will have this dead ball opportunity. 3 in the wall, 2 in the wall for Lions. Kwase and Kim just awaiting the all clear signal for the referee to this free kick to take place. Here is Thompson's effort, and Borean didn't really have to make a move at all.
Certainly looked good in his run up, but yeah, not quite the accuracy he's after. Obviously a long way out, going for a bit more power on that one, but yeah, as we said, Borean, very experienced, very good goalkeeper. It's going to take something special from there to beat him.
Here he's getting involved again, Luke Borean. Jared bringing the ball forward. Kim tries the play out on the left where Kwase and Brindle South were both waiting. Simic. Ball into the box. There's a claim, half a claim of the penalty, but nothing really there for referee Casey Rybelt to adjudicate on. Good evening to Callum watching in from Perth, Western Australia. Paul Huddle, thanks for your kind comments as well, stating that Lions a little bit unlucky on Wednesday night. Once again, the managing director of the Brisbane Roar watching on. And Michelle agreeing with our assessment that Lions starting to gel, starting to get into their work. Here's Medell, he's hassled by the Moreton Bay defender. And he's just remained down after that challenge. Referee's just going to bring a halt to play. It was more just a tangle between the players. There wasn't anything really illegal there. There's a bit of discussion between the match officials in the comms. I think a bit of confusion here from Casey Rybelt. Just a quiet word to Medell on the run. But
I'm not actually sure he was involved in that tackle at all, but certainly Mitch Hall was involved there. But anyway, nice breather for most of the players, and we'll get on with it. Maybe Casey just needed a bit of a breather herself, so slow the game down, chat to a few players, and away we go again.
Away we go indeed, and Simic looking for the free kick and gets the decision. Lions go from the back again once more. Jared wrong-foots the Jets player in Riley Campbell. Scooting in there, the Raidernauts was Thompson. So another incursion deep into the attacking territory here for the home side.
Not too much pace in the game, which is sometimes a bit rare for a semi-final, but I think that FFA Cup game certainly took it out of the Lions players, but again, just slow build-up and hopefully create a few chances.
Liddell will certainly be fresh after missing Wednesday night, being cup-tied to Holland Park earlier in the competition.
Yeah, he's kicking himself that he played. I think they got beat about 8-0 that game as well, so he wished he didn't play it, but that's how it goes.
As you said before, an amazing run from Marek Medell. Not only goals in the NPL since coming to Lions, but also in the FQPL. Amazing 41 goals combined across his time at Holland Park and Lions, including 7 in the last 3, and scored in all bar one game that he's had in the orange.
Certainly knows how to find the back of the net, and just as well he's got a poor accent because he never shuts up as well. So luckily his feet do more talking than him, which is sometimes hard to believe.
Of course, had that training stint with the Mariners earlier on in the season as Brindle South looks to negotiate around a rob. Chested down there by Thompson. Thompson again will have the ball off the right peg. Oh, agonisingly close there to Lions, certainly signalling their intent almost 20 minutes in. Thompson just slides wide to the left upright.
Yeah, Ravesh had full stretch there to try and save that one, but still went wide. A little bit sloppy there from the Lions, with Brindle South not finding his mark with the cross, and Andy Thompson probably getting lucky with a bit of a ricochet there, but nice low and hard shot across the goal, which is what you want from your wide players, but the result, a goal kick.
20 minutes in, Johnny, what's your assessment of
Yeah, look,
how the first
like
20
I
minutes
said,
played out?
quite a slow pace. I think both sides just a bit cagey. Semi-final, don't want to give too much away, but I think for the Jets, Janowski just needs to get on the ball a bit more because he's very dangerous. Plays a good forward ball as well, but it's tight in there when you've got Mitch Hoare and Danny Kim, probably two of the best midfielders in the league, in there harassing you. So, but yeah, certainly for the Jets, if they can get him on the ball a lot more, I think they'll create a few more chances.
Just saw Janowski momentarily getting involved there in that phase of play. We've got George watching on from Uzbekistan. Get the most exotic places.
Probably got a
watching
better
the NPL.
Probably got a better internet signal over there than he does here in Australia. That's for sure.
Good morning to you, George. Watching from Uzbekistan. Might have just been over your breakfast.
His internet's so fast, he's a minute ahead of us.
And a happy Father's Day to everyone out there in Australia today. Hope everyone had a good day. Plenty of people around the cafes enjoying breakfast and lunch with their fathers today. It's Brindle South, formerly of Moreton Bay, spent some time there before heading off to Wellington Phoenix in the A-League. And back here to Lions and Bentley Greens, and back to Lions again this season. Carlos. Brindle South. Makwase. Drift one in towards the back post. And it's taken a touch off a Moreton Bay player there in Matt Byrne.
I tell you what, he's done well to get that behind him for a corner kick. Just off the wrong side of the boot there, that's for sure. Which is fairly dangerous to give away a corner at this stage of the game. But let's see what Shepherd can do. Hopefully he can whip in a good ball as the wind picks up as well.
It does indeed. The wee Scotsman's going to have it behind his back. In towards the 6-yard box, almost goes direct. Bazard punches away. Knotted on by Kim. There's a crowd of players inside the box, including Simic there for Lions. Carlos, Makwase. Simic just left it there for the Colombian. Going to have a go here at the defender with his tricky footwork. They're looking for a corner Lions. There's plenty of complaints, but They're going to fall on deaf ears.
Right decision there. Quite trying the fast footwork, but to no avail. They're well defended by Gwyn Jones. Just stood his ground, didn't dive in. That's probably what you want to do against a sharp attacker, is make him make the mistake rather than you giving him opportunity.
Great to see Jason McQuarrie in full flight again after some terrible injuries over the previous years. Another vital point, a cog of the Lions attacking setup. Here he is. He scored in his last 6 games for Lions. Once again, looked to be burn on hand there for the Jets to deny Lions a shot on goal. Lift over the back of the head. Kim getting involved. He's given away the free kick. However, plenty of talk going on out there.
I think Lions wanted a handball against Janowski there. The referee just signalling definitely shoulder. So she's convinced. We're all convinced. Moreton Bay with the free kick.
Midway through the first half. If you have just joined us, good evening. Sunday night at Lions Stadium. No score in this NPL semi-final. Winner to go on to take on Olympic next weekend after the Yeronga-based side had a 2-1 win over Western Pride earlier today. If Lions win, they'll be hosting the grand final. Should the Jets win, it'll be at Goodwin Park. Of course, this inaugural season for Lions in the NPL. No stranger to grand finals, of course. The reigning Flight Centre Brisbane Premier League grand final winners against Peninsula last year. It'll be Moreton Bay's 3rd grand final, should they be successful, winning in 2015 against the Strikers. Runners-up last year against Western Pride. Strong win there for the Jets player in Thompson. Hoa plays it wider from McQuarrie. Hoa threads one through. Only could get to the Moreton Bay player who was in between the 2 Lions players. And they'll start again through Simic.
Lions players just getting a bit sharper with their passes, starting to stick a lot more. It's just forcing a few turnovers from Moreton Bay when they do win it back. So I think getting that lactic out the legs for the Lions players, but really getting that passing game going now. So causing a few problems for the Jets at the moment.
Pirianabi, the Jets coach, quite vocal in his technical area. Campbell's got in behind the defence. Campbell sizes up the opportunity and it's denied by Borean, who just casually gets back up to his feet and says it's just another regulation save.
Pretty much. I mean,
anything but.
That's how he rolls. A great save there again. He stood his ground really well. Probably copped it on the chin. But as any good keeper does, puts his body on the line. And as we said, Moreton Bay, you're probably not going to get too many better chances than that tonight. They really got to take those ones. But great pressure there, I think, by Simic at the back. And that's what Lions do. They scramble well, hence why they've only conceded 11 this whole season.
Very unusual to see an attacker get in and behind the Lions' defence and have a one-on-one opportunity. I don't think we'll see that very often again here this evening.
But they certainly have been caught out. I think that's the 2nd time they've been caught out in behind. So maybe Simic and Jared at the back, they just got to keep their eye on that one. And a fair bit of pace up front for the Jets.
Yeah, Campbell with a bit of pace, Brenton Fox with a bit of pace as well.
And Arop as
Arop,
well.
no slouch either.
I'm sure he's probably handy in there. Got a bit of Usain and Bolt about him. Probably maybe just as quick. I think a better footballer though. So
did you watch a bit of that on Friday night?
Oh, you could not watch it. But I suppose, I mean, good for the region down there anyway, and I suppose gets people talking about the A-League at least, and you know, can't fault him for trying. But I think the A-League opposition might be a bit tougher for him.
Free kick going Lions' way. Getting quite animated out there.
There's a few challenges.
So the free kick is taken. Not on by Hoare in the direction of Medell, but Bazard comes off his line to stop the prolific goal scorer. As I said before, he's scored a heap of goals, been on the leaderboard of both leagues, a unique achievement. As the Jets tried to scramble out of defence, and that was a
red shot there by Medell.
Sticks the hand up immediately, says, sorry, boys.
Yeah, Thompson there just rushing his clearance. And again, as we said, Jets are winning the ball back, but they seem to turn it over within 1 or 2 passes, which isn't great. Maybe just getting a little bit tired, although we're only 27 minutes in, but still a little bit sloppy with those passes. But as I said, I think the Lions players getting a bit tighter now. Get that jelly out of the legs from the midweek game, then just putting a bit more pressure on the Jets.
On the far side for the men in orange. Moreton Bay look to get out of their own half. Not successful in doing so. However, Makwase will hassle Bernardi here. And there'll be cool composure from Simic just to play it casually back for his keeper. Brought out by Jarrett into the attacking half for his side.
Danny Kim not happy with the challenge there by Campbell, and referee Casey just tells him to get on with it. But certainly a bit of a follow through there. Just nothing wrong with it though. Just letting him know he's there. But certainly Jets aren't going to take a backward step here today.
And neither can they afford to. They really need to take it up to their more fancied opponents here tonight as Hoare gets a turn towards goal. Once again, the hands go up from some of the Lions players.
Not too much power on that shot, but if you don't have any calves or quads, it's pretty hard to get any power behind it.
They are skinny legs, aren't they?
I'll tell you what, he's a Kenyan in disguise. Can run all day, but yeah, just when it comes to the squats in the gym, he's certainly not in the top few, that's for sure.
Bernardi. I'm not going to have a word on that because anyways, a free kick going Moreton Bay's way. Is it Simic being brought out for a chat? It was.
Yeah, I think he just had a go at the referee there for the decision, but yeah, a few little grumbles out there, little niggly ones. Certainly can do without those ones. But another great opportunity here for the Jets. Hopefully a good ball in there and see if their big man can attack it.
Once again, Thompson over the dead ball. Just one defending immediately. That's Makwase for Lions as Thompson sends it in towards the back post. And Makwase, they're trying to launch some sort of a counter here. Lions, Shepherd loses out. Although it's going to fall fortuitously here perhaps for Brindle South, who evades the challenge of Capello. Coming in there at the last moment was Harris.
Yeah, great cover defence there. Lions unlucky there. It was a good opportunity for a counter, but good scrambling by the Jets again. Not a bad ball in there off that free kick, and Simic, just the tower of a human he is, cleared that one, and Lions almost got him behind there.
So we're through the first half hour. No score at Lions Stadium. Medell hemmed in the corner there by Bernardi. He's got Brindle South there for company should he need him. And just to squeeze the ball on for the Brindle South. Kim. Looping ball towards the edge of the area. Hacked away by the Jets in Matt Byrne. All the way to his former teammate Luke Borean. He's in no rush to send the ball back into general play. Bit of contested possession. Rebounds and ricochet. Now it's the Jets with the ball. Turns straight back over to Brindle South, however. Shepherd. And now Carlos. Return ball comes Shepherd's way. He'll look up and see if he can deliver it across in. He could do so. Flashed across the face of goal. Makwase waiting at the back post but couldn't get any contact.
Yeah, nice little 1-2 there by Shepherd to get him behind, but a bit too much sauce on that cross, unfortunately, and missed everyone involved, including the Jets players and the Lions attackers. So, Yeah, just got to be composed in those areas. There's no pressure on him. But, yeah, probably just try to fizz that one across and got it a bit wrong.
Arop will be in a contest there with Simic, although it was pretty much uncontested there in the end as the ball floated over the tall Arop. Carlos. Kwase looks like he might have switched swings with Shepherd for the time being. Thanks to Andrew for your kind comments. Love watching the local football. And his 5-year-old son can watch his kindy football coach in action. Maybe you want to let us know who that is, Andrew. Who's the player out there that your son is most looking forward to seeing tonight? Away by Campbell in the direction of Capello. Simic to it first. Brindle south. Arop now. Away by Kim. And Jonty was looking to take a touch on that one.
Almost got a volley in. Didn't do an injury, so that's a good sign.
Shepherd. Good ball down the line. Finds Medell. He just ruse his effort. A few soft words to himself as he gave it back to the Jets. Makwase. He's come deep looking for the ball. Shepherd for Medell. Medell sizes up the defender. Good evening, Leo. Nice to have your company again this evening. Shepherd. Now Carlos. Slides past Makwase. I've got a fan club out there, Jonty, somehow. I don't know how.
It's good to see, Ray.
Great comments that they've got for me too.
As long as they're not all the family, that's usually a dead giveaway. But
Leo Siriani, part of the coaching panel at Peninsula Power. And Lions almost open up the scoring.
Great opportunity there. He probably should have put that one away, edge of the box there. But again, just get it wide. It's just those little things. I think both sides not quite nailing it tonight. Yeah, certainly Lions getting on top now. I think creating the better opportunities anyway. And we've seen a lot of action down this end of the Jets. A few hands on hips as well from a lot of the Jets players. So I think they're working hard in there.
10 minutes to the break. Jonty, can you see a goal before half-time?
Look, I think right now you'd say the Lions, but as we said, those long balls in behind for the Jets seem to get them a bit of joy. Certainly a free kick will help that, but just hope you don't see a mistake from either side to give away a goal before half-time. Hopefully it's a really nice footballing move or individual brilliance to open the scoring.
Big touch on from Fox. Part of the Central Coast Mariners youth set up over the past couple of seasons with Olympic coach Ben Kahn, who is down that way. Sunshine Coast product Brenton Fox. Borian out free skipper in Simic. We have plenty of time to assess the situation. More centrally for Kim and Jared. Holds it up on the halfway line. Simic calls for the ball and Julie receives it. Crucial foot there. And Arop, you're going the other way, Chomp. He's giving away a corner.
I think he saw Matty Burns one early in the half and said, oh, I can top that one. And just as well it wasn't on target because I think the keeper would have to work to keep that one out. The old shin off the toe, rolling volley. Get some pretty good dip on there if you can control it. But again, another opportunity here for the Lions with the corner. Andy Thompson taking his time. I think he's cleaned a few extra pulls this week after his FFA Cup action. But looking to swing this one in, another good opportunity.
It's great to see the story on 9 News during the week of the occupations of the Lions players. And that profile piece in the lead up to the FFA Cup. Byrne gets ahead to it there for the Jets. There's some claims of handball.
I'm pretty sure all his teammates thought he was a concreter, and then the next minute he's there cleaning leaves out of someone's pool.
Thompson. Defence coming. I think it might have been from Smith for the Jets.
Simic still staying up there. I think he's been quietly told just to jog back into position, which he's taken his time there, but not a bad ball in there by Thompson.
He's going to come over and take the throw in now as well on that far side. Once again, this hands going up from the Moreton Bay defence. And Medell was just content to play that into the defender's feet and earn another corner for his side. 7.5 minutes to the break. It's still evenly poised here at Lions Stadium, although after the initial exchanges with Moreton Bay, they had the better of those in the first 5 minutes or so, but pretty much from that point on, Lions have got into their work. Just haven't been able to find that breakthrough goal just yet as the corner is swung here. Bazard reaches high to claim it and sends it back into action quickly.
Good spray there by the keeper to find the Jets in a great position here with numbers going forward. Janowski on the ball.
For Capello. A low ball again for his skipper. Bernardi in towards the edge of the area. Couldn't link up with any of the men in black. Rop was the target. And Brindle South will be in here to mop up for Lions. Shepherd comes away with it. Makwase on the halfway line. Forced a little bit parallel there by Byrne. Carlos, good sliding challenge in there from Fox it was.
And again, it's a great work there by the little winger. It's what you like to see. Sometimes the prettier footballers, as they're so called, don't always do that, the hard yards there, but he certainly did well to get back in and make a couple of challenges.
Possession going Lions way, 55-45. 6 shots for Lions and 5 for Moreton Bay. Thanks, Andrew, for getting back to us, letting us know that your son's watching the Moreton Bay keeper, Bazard. He's doing a tidy effort so far as well. Sounds like your boy enjoys his football. It's Janowski now for the Jets. Arop. Janowski dishing out the instructions to his lanky striker. He comes up against 2, now 3 orange shirts. Janowski. Just aided Janowski being able to try and conjure something in with Arop drawing in 3 players there. Nothing to come of it though, however, for the Jets.
A bit of pace there for Arop, and I think in that situation, Janowski sort of called out to him to dribble, but you really want to see him just attack Brindle South there, try and get in the box while he's dribbling, and then force Brindle South to maybe make a decision. Do I tackle him, do I not? Sometimes it's easy to just take your time outside the box and doesn't really go anywhere. Passed it to Janowski, who unfortunately didn't have the best pass, but yeah, in those situations, one-on-one, you've got to just drive in the box, and you never know what can happen.
Jared. Thompson that far side. Makwase. Just playing a bit of a triangle there. Lions not coming off. Try their luck perhaps down the left this time with Simic directing traffic. Good ball forward. Medell. In comes across from the right. Arriving on the scene is Brindle South up against Arop. As you said early on, Jonty, that was going to be a duel to look forward to, and those two have been going at it all night, Brindle South and
it has
Chom
been good. Both sucking in the big ones, but yeah, both testing each other, and good to see them at both ends of the field as well, not just down one end. So both working hard there, and could be the difference, I suppose, the longer this game goes on.
Once again into the attacking half from the home side. Turnover of possession. Arop. And it's a fraction over hit. Although he hesitated. Did he think he was offside?
Yeah.
He hesitated on his run and the linesman kept the flag down. He's given away a free kick.
I give a 6.2 for difficulty on that one, and I'll go 9 out of 10 on the execution. So good work there by Borean. I think... I know.
It's actually Arop who's come off the worst aware in that.
I think he's actually holding his hamstring, which is why he pulled up earlier. And, but taking nothing away from Borean's dive there, perfectly one free kick. Yeah, certainly holding his hamstring there, so hopefully nothing too serious, but not looking too good for the big fella at the moment.
The physio on to attend to Chom Arop, just seeing if there might be someone warming up on the Moreton Bay sideline, but that gives us a bit of a chance to take a bit of a breather with 3 minutes remaining in this first half, and a reminder that the football doesn't stop once we're done with the outdoor season. Futsal kicks off the South East Queensland Futsal Premier League on the 29th of September, and you can keep up to date with all that's going on there at footballqueensland.com.au. The action, football never stops, does it, Jonty, these days?
That's right, and it's really great by not only Football Queensland, but a lot of the leagues around the country streaming these games. It gives it an opportunity for everyone at home to watch, and as I said, probably not the most family-friendly time, this one, so as we said, they're the 5-year-old there watching at home. Gives those kids an opportunity to see some of their coaches and fellow senior players playing. So it's really, really great. And not only that, I mean, just watching on the comments, a lot of the other players in the league are all watching this match. So it just shows how much interest is in the NPL, and certainly makes it a lot easier to follow your team.
So Arop has retreated to the sideline. He's now being let back on to the field. So Moreton Bay back to their full complement of 11. Which might be vital with the ball down in attacking territory. And Bazad's chance to go over this time. Adele just covers the face and goes, well, if you thought Borean's dive was good,
I was just about to say, it's not quite. I'll give that a 5.4 for difficulty. Not quite as impressive as Borean's, but nonetheless did the job, got the free kick.
Jonty Richter playing the role of the Russian judge tonight, being harsh with the marking.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he brought me a coffee right now, I'd give him 10 out of 10 for that dive, because we need to throw another log on the fire. The wind's cutting through us at the moment.
So the resulting free kick sent long by the Moreton Bay keeper, Simic. Marek Medell is the man up there for Lions.
Good work there again by Gwyn Jones. He hasn't done too much wrong tonight, the young fella. Well, not so young anymore as well. He's been around for quite a while now, but certainly he's got his hands full with Medell there, but he's doing well so far.
Simic barking out the instructions. You might be able to hear that on the effects mic. Carlos being kept a little bit quieter than normal. Thompson searches for the ball. The defender slips in an inopportune moment. And it's blazed over the bar as we tick up to the completion of 45 minutes.
Harris just slipping over there, I think, and Thompson frustrated with himself there. He had a different picture in his mind, as we usually do at this level, and it didn't quite come off.
So into first half stoppage time now. There will be a little bit for that Chomarop injury just a couple of minutes ago, maybe 2 minutes of stoppage time. No goals to contribute to any additional time. Throw in taken quickly on that far side. Capello for the Jets. Medell comes under the attention of Matt Byrne. The Lions supporters on the far side. Not happy with Casey Rybelt.
I think both sides would be happy to just get to the sheds now. Coaches, I'm sure, got their team talks ready to go. But I suppose, especially in these semi-finals, substitution is going to be the key, I think. So it'll be interesting to see how the second half pans out.
And
wow,
McQuarrie went down. Must have been some communication there from her assistant. McQuarrie's remained down after that challenge.
Did look like she looked to the linesman before making that decision. So they'll have their committee meeting now and come up with something. But looks like Lions will have one more opportunity here.
So it's a free kick. Are they thinking about a further sanction to a Moreton Bay player?
Ooh, triple whistle.
Who's being brought out here?
Looks like Matt Byrne, is it? Or maybe...
it is Matt. No, it's not. It's
Thompson.
Thompson, yeah. In conjunction with his skipper, Janowski, and a yellow card.
Well, the referee and linesman saw something then the rest of us didn't, but nonetheless a free kick and probably a bit harshly yellow card there. Good, thanks Tony, mate. You've always been a great supporter of mine, so thanks for lovely comments on the live feed as well.
You know he's over in Cyprus now.
If I knew how to toughen up, I would, Tony.
Living the dream over.
That's it. It's a lot easier on this side of the fence. But
So
Shepherd looking to whip this one in. The referee gives another talking to someone. So
taking a while for this free kick to be set up. This is probably the final opportunity before the half-time break. Now's a bit of a push and shove inside the 6-yard box. Finally, that free kick comes in, back stick. And goal kick. Here's the decision. Last touch off Simic. And that'll do it for first half action in this NPL semi-final at Lions Stadium between Lions FC and Moreton Bay. It's 0-0 at the break. Jonty, what were your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, well, Moreton Bay started off very well, I thought, and Lions just eased themselves into the game. I think on the majority of that half, Lions probably edged it slightly, but again, great opportunity for the Jets down this end, and that's probably been the chance of the match. Didn't take it. Boring with the great save there, but yeah, so far a bit cagey. A lot of turnovers. I think both sides can and will do better this second half. And as I said, I think the substitutions are going to play a massive part in this game. Nothing too much to say about the referees. Probably a few stoppages more than we'd like, but that's not always the referee's fault. So certainly the second half, I expect to see a bit more from Lions. And yeah, really interested to see what substitutions these coaches come up with.
So the players retiring to the sheds for half-time. We're going to take a bit of a break ourselves. Hope you can come and join us on the second half. And at Lions Stadium at half-time, it's Lions 0, Moreton Bay 0. Can you believe it? Over the top of Hepburn and South have scored.
I could watch them all day. Even though here, you don't feel like you need to. These are the moments I'll remember. You see, to me, it's not so much just having us all together, but finding a place that really brings us together. That's what makes Oaks Oasis special. When you only get a few chances, it's important to make them count. After all, memories don't make themselves.
Football is my favorite. I love playing it with my friends.
When I score a goal, I celebrate and dream of playing for the Celtic Socceroos.
And this is where it all starts, with the Aldi Mini-Roos kickoff program. I grab my shin pads, boot bag, drink bottle and bowl, then join my mates for some fun.
It's great. We learn new skills every week through games and activities. These help us learn about teamwork and respect for others.
My mum cheers me on the sidelines. She loves watching me play. She likes it that football is such a safe sport.
But best of all,
we make lots of new friends.
And if we are lucky, we might run into the Aldi Mini-Roos ambassadors.
Wow, it's Archie Thompson. He's a legend. And Steph Patrick from the Westfield Matildas. She is amazing. Come and join Australia's biggest football program for kids. Come and join us.
swear a lot at Total Tools. We swear by our range. We swear by our service. And of course, we swear by our prices. So you'll know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
We did great today.
I could watch them all day. Even though here, you don't feel like you need to. These are the moments I'll remember. You see, to me, it's not so much just having us all together, but finding a place that really brings us together. That's what makes Oaks Oasis special. When you only get a few chances, it's important to make them count. After all, memories don't make themselves.
Football is my favourite. I love playing it with my friends.
When I score a goal, I celebrate and dream of playing for the Caltex Socceroos.
And this is where it all starts, with the Aldi Mini-Roos kickoff program. I grab my shin pads, boot bag, drink bottle and bowl, then join my mates for some fun.
It's great. We learn new skills every week through games and activities. These help us learn about teamwork and respect for others.
My mum cheers me on the sidelines. She loves watching me play. She likes it that football is such a safe sport.
But best of all,
we make lots of new friends.
And if we are lucky, we might run into the Aldi Mini-Roos ambassadors.
Wow, it's Archie Thompson, he's a legend. And Steph Natlick from the Westfield Matildas, she is amazing. Come and join Australia's biggest football program for kids. Come and join us.
We swear a lot at Total Tools. We swear by our range. We swear by our service. And of course, we swear by our prices. So you'll know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
Can you believe it?
Over the top of Hepburn, and Souths have scored.
So both teams coming back out onto the park for this second half where it's 0-0 between Lions and Moreton Bay at the break. Moreton Bay were out there 3 or 4 minutes ahead of their rivals this evening. Once again joined by Jonty Richter. What do you reckon would have been the instructions coming from the respective coaches to their charges at half time?
Yeah, I think for the Jets, get Janowski on the ball for one again. He's looked dangerous as he does, probably their main playmaker. But I think getting the ball in behind has got them some joy, especially getting it wide as well. Hopefully Rop's Hemi's not too bad. But I think for the Lions, just keep that ball moving, keep building, because the more they keep the ball, the better the opportunities they've been having. But I think Medell has been doing well up there again. It's just getting those balls wide and probably getting a better cross on the in the box, and certainly causing the Jets some problems.
Luke Boren's going to have a bit of a chat to Chomarop on the way through. Pretty sure both of those would have had some time together at Moreton Bay in the past. Boren's going to jog straight back to his position. Lions break from their huddle. Spot on the line in next weekend's grand final for the winner, up against Olympic, who won earlier today. So we're just about ready to go again. Second half of the NPL semi-final from Lions Stadium between Lions and Moreton Bay. We're currently deadlocked at 0-0. The first challenge of the second half comes in from Fox, and then Janowski gives the foul away against Thompson.
Can't argue with those two challenges, I don't think, but good work there by Thompson. Didn't go to ground as well, which is good to see, but nevertheless a free kick and good opportunity for the Lions to get one in the box.
Looked like the Jets just wanted to assert their authority early on there.
Yeah,
we mean business.
They're not afraid of the physical stuff, which is good to see. Nothing wrong with throwing a few challenges in.
Here comes the free kick from Thompson. Andy for Lions.
As long as the challenge is the legal, of course. But again, there, just those. Maybe it's worth a short one. I think the same for the Lions. A lot of the corners were whipped in, which is they're in good areas, but at the same time, maybe just mixing it up and giving their defenders a bit of something to think about. We all know defenders don't like to think too much. Just head it and kick it long. Yeah, certainly just mixing it up. I think it makes it difficult for any side defending.
Nice little jab into the ribs there for defenders by Jonty. Another free kick going Lions way.
Good to get them in when you're this side of the fence after copping a few challenges over the years. But again, another opportunity here for Thompson to get it in the box, and let's see what he can do.
Yeah, Shepherd's going to leave it for the former Capella Bar man. Once again, plenty of tall timber in the box for Lions. Plenty of scrambling around from both sets of players. On there by Kim. And Bazad will mop up at his byline. Immediately wants to draw Fox into the action. Didn't have a lot of support there with the diminutive front man. Arup calling for it on his left-hand side, a bit frustrated he couldn't get to it. Now it's Campbell. Was he bumped over? Referee said it's a fair challenge. Once again, the Moreton Bay supporters up in arms on that far side. Not too many complaints coming from Campbell, it looks like. They've given away the free kick here. Lions right on halfway.
Just watching the replay there of that one of Gerard going through. Probably shoulder to shoulder, one of those. I mean, probably the right decision in the end by the referee, but you've also seen those ones given. Both players going in hard, and ball just sort of fell to the side, but not too much in it.
Despite sitting on the yellow card, Jared still giving a full effort. Bernardi slides in, denies forward progress to the home side. Brindle South looking to get away with a few extra metres. Just held at close quarters on that right-hand side. Free kick taken for the Jets. Thompson, Darren for Moreton Bay. Once again, Casey Rybelt, she's had a couple of decisions had to make in these first 4 minutes.
Cut out for her. There's a few challenges flying in.
Jared. Kim sends this one on the left. Looks like it's Shepherd on that far side. Medell just be kept at close quarters there by Gwyn Jones, it looked like. So a similar story to the first half where Moreton Bay came out the better side.
Yeah, again, both sides not really trying to get the tempo nice and quick, so I think maybe that's an indication of how the players are feeling at the moment, but certainly a number of breathers being had by both sides.
Makwase looping around the right was Thompson. He attempted to deliver a low cross in, was blocked. And Jared will go back to mop up here, but he's going to come under some attention from Campbell, who's going to continue through on Boring, who once again, casually as you like, finds a teammate in Simic. Brindle South, wider for Carlos, delivers a low skimming cross into the box. Once again met by the defender. Brindle South takes possession back for Lions. Janowski plays it backwards, flirting with danger. Bernardi there has put it straight back into the path of the Lions player in Carlos, I think it was. Now Makwase on the ball, trying his fancy footwork again. Is that Shepherd? And once again, they're dangerous inside the box. Lions still alive. Poked away. Is it save on the line by Bazard from Carlos's shot? And Moreton Bay, they were dancing with danger there, weren't they, Jonty?
Great save there, but a good old-fashioned Golma scramble there. Very sloppy by both sides, actually, and Moreton Bay failing to clear their lines. All started from the cross from Shepherd, which probably wasn't the greatest angle, but cleared, or half cleared by Moreton Bay anyway. And yeah, a bit of ping pong in the box there, and a couple of great saves by Bernard.
So corner variation played for Makwase, back out to the corner taker in Thompson, nodded away by Arop. Simic, the skipper, to go and chase it here for Lions. He's got Hoare in company, that's where he comes. There's two Moreton Bay defenders in there to try and shut Lions down. Defended away by Bernardi, was it? Oh, Medell was almost clear. Once again, Baysad off the line. Jared getting involved with a shot on target. Thompson loses out, and the Jets look to come away on the counter. Getting through a ton of work is Jared.
Yeah, Bazard with another great save there to keep his side in this contest. But Lions doing great work there, doing the right thing, low and hard, but Bazard up to the challenge at the moment. And a nice shot there going down to his right-hand side and managed to parry that one away.
2 or 3 saves in the last couple of minutes from the Moreton Bay Gloveman to keep the score at 0-0. For those of you asking, we do need a result tonight, so it is extra time and penalties if required.
Yeah, let's just hope Lions don't rue those missed opportunities there. That's always the way. One side will start getting on the top and maybe leave themselves a little bit exposed at the back, and I think that's where Moreton Bay can look to expose them, maybe with the pace of Fox out here on the left-hand side now, and get in behind and maybe punish the Lions.
Might be a little bit similar to the FFA Cup game back in round 6 that Lions played against Rochdale that went all the way to penalties. 0-0 after extra time. Lions just unable to take their chances that night. Rochdale's defence very stout. Maybe Lions can find a path to goal here this evening. Not without a good fight from the Jets, however.
Again, no team in a rush to get things moving here. So I think the game will open up a bit because I feel a lot of the boys are getting tired. As we, I think with 30 minutes to go, we'll probably see a substitution from someone as a few of the subs start warming up now.
So it's at the feet of Simic. Desperate lunge there from Capello. Moreton Bay faithful cheer. That effort from Matt Capello. Long time Moreton Bay player now. Fourth or fifth year it would be at the club for the midfielder. Influential in the Jets 2015 season where they became premiers of the NPL and then went on to win the grand final against the Strikers.
I think they were actually tangled up in each other's laces there, so probably looked worse than it was. But nonetheless, good foul, I think, that one for the Jets. Sort of stopped the Lions in their counter-attack play there.
Good nature between Bernardi and Jason McQuarrie. Meanwhile, it's Simic. Liddell chests it down, fights for the ball, can't earn it back. Fox is released. He's got a bit of room to move in until he comes to Kim. Slides one through here for Campbell. And the flag has gone up on the far side. The ball ends up in the back of the net. And it'll be chalked off.
Well, I mean, unlucky there for the Jets, but as we said, that's where they probably can exploit this Lions defence. Another one there where he just was called offside, but did manage to get in behind. So certainly some encouragement there for the Jets.
They've had 3 or so opportunities like that now. A couple in the first half, and that latest one.
Must say, good decision there by the linesman as well. Yeah, always should give them praise where it's due. We're usually quick to jump on their backs, but yeah, good decision.
Anton Shettinen on the far line, part of the A-League assistant referees panel. Quick release once again from Bazard as Fox backs into Thompson. Simic brings it into the attacking half for the home side. Sharp little play here. Did Medell get a knock on? As Bazard. Yeah, he's got the last touch there. Bazard at the far post.
Another one there. Just that final delivery on those crosses. Again, said it about angles. In certain areas of the pitch, we really should be looking to dink that one far post or cut it back where they're probably trying to pick at Medell, which is not the worst thing, but sometimes that striker can really take out a few defenders. And if they cut it back for someone, it's an easy finish. We say easy, but all you got to do is put a side foot on it and it's in the back of the net. But that's sometimes quite a tough cross to do when you're trying to find someone on the near post.
So Bazard, the Moreton Bay keeper, has been kept very busy in the opening 12 minutes of this second half. And the quick throw attempt, and Fox has taken exception to it.
Bit of argy-bargy.
And
oh, hang on a minute.
The assistant on this near side is
getting
come on as well.
Action.
Now, Casey Rybelt will call out, I think it's Josh Brindle South. Just wanted to stop the momentum there of the Jets. Will there be any further action?
I mean, look, I know you got to have a word after this, but sometimes it's just better to get on with the game, and the players will forget about it. You know, big talking to for nothing. Where if it's something that needs to be yellow carded, just whip out the yellow card and let's get on with the game. But both players, I think, were over it by the time we've going to get this free kick underway. But yeah, not too much in it. Just shows the competitive nature of both sides. As I think Arup getting substituted here, first substitute for the match.
He is indeed. Player coming on in 22.
Substitution for Moreton Bay, number 22.
Of course, we don't have a 22 on the team sheet, do we?
So, I think it might be Declan Smith coming on, which
yes,
he's got down for 16
right
on the team sheet, but he's actually number 22 this evening, so I'm not sure what's happened there, but nonetheless, he's on the field and ready to roll.
There's been a bit of that in the Moreton Bay lineup. Initially, when they put up the team list, there was no Matt Byrne in their side. Yeah, certainly they won't lose anything in terms of height with Smith replacing Arup.
Another big boy. don't think he's quite as quick as Arup, but we'll soon find out anyway.
Moreton Bay supporters shouting out to the referee, looking for a yellow card for what they think is some delaying tactics from Lions. So almost a quarter of an hour completed, 60 minutes of football. We still have no score in this NPL semi-final from Lions Stadium on a Sunday night. Rafe Griffin and Jonty Richter with you this evening, taking you through all the action. Borean's going to have a bit of a run, as he doesn't mind doing.
He certainly gives the coach a few heart attacks every now and again.
He
but
must do, mustn't he?
He's always in control. Offside here against Medell, but yeah.
It's funny, I was at the catch-up game a couple of weeks ago against the Roar, where Luke came almost out to halfway, and Darren Syme turned to me and he goes, I was never really worried about him doing that, even though he gave away possession. It's funny.
He's certainly one of the best keepers I've ever seen with his feet anyway, as most of them are these days. But yeah, he's got that self-confidence which you actually need as a goalkeeper. So I suppose it's risky in some respects, but I think he knows what he's doing, and well, we hope he knows what he's doing anyway.
5 years semi-professional, professional experience in Italy before returning to Australia. Smith is released here. Shoulder bump with Jared. But unfairly, says referee Casey Rybell.
Second yellow. Oh, straight.
Yeah, it's a yellow,
there
and it's his second. We said that Tommy Jared would be riding the tightrope.
Tell you what, that's sort of one of those where the defenders let the ball bounce, and it's always risky when you do that, but we'll try and watch it here on the computer.
So we've just got a bit of a delayed feed here, and just looking at this now, Jonty, what did you think?
Yeah, look, you know, sometimes they could go either way, that one, and unfortunately for the Lions, it's certainly gone the wrong way, which has resulted in a red card, which could really test the Lions here, as Simic is still talking to the referee. Yeah, it's probably quite harsh, and yeah, not much you can do about it right now, because he's certainly off the park for the rest of the match.
It's interesting because there was that one in the first half, a similar type challenge that wasn't punished.
I think Borean's
also been booked as well for dissent.
Yellow as well, yep.
So Tommy Jared trudges off to the dressing room. Lions are reduced to 10 men for the remainder of this game. Another 29 minutes of this second half, plus any potential extra time. So just looking over the bench, there is going to be a change made. I think you'd probably find Nathan Reardon would come on in this situation, who can basically play anywhere around the park. I might be wrong, but someone's going to have to be sacrificed here for a Lions substitute to make sure they've got that strength in the back four, which will be a back three momentarily.
This is where I hope one day we get the coaches mic'd up, because it will always be interesting. I'm sure the Moreton Bay coach is quite ecstatic, but I'm sure Warren Moon, not much hair left on his head, but he's probably pulling some of it out.
Pacing the sideline over there at the moment, hand to the mouth. It's quite animated. So it's Darren Thompson that will have this free kick for Moreton Bay. 4 in the wall for Lions. There's a Moreton Bay player at the edge that runs away to allow Thompson's free kick to drift around the wall, but no real work there for Borean to do.
Yeah, as we said, he's going to have to do something special to beat Borean, and that one's probably easy pickings for the goalkeeper. He's trying to go round the wall there, not up and over it, and easy save for Borean in the end.
Shepherd's gone down, and we'll get the referee's whistle.
Looks like Lions going to continue with 3 at the back just for the moment anyway. As you said, Nathan Reardon preparing to come on. So it'll be interesting to see who he's pulling off here. Looks like young Shepherd's coming off.
Yeah, he's going to have to be sacrificed, Nathan Shepherd, for Nathan Reardon coming on in jersey 6 it will be. So he'll probably slot straight into the back. As I said before, can fill a number of positions around the field. So the paperwork being completed by the referee.
Not sure what the delay is here, but
Luke Boring up on the halfway line. I think there's a bit of byplay between him and the Moreton Bay supporters as Nathan Reardon is finally allowed out onto the park. He's just delivering some instructions out to his teammates.
bit of a tough area for Thompson, this one. In the middle of the park, quite a way out. It's always difficult to get the ball in the right spot.
Dinks one over towards the penalty spot. Waiting there at the far post is Makwase.
Tell you what,
in the meantime, however.
That's probably the one spot you do want Andy Thompson to put it. That's a nice ball in there, but again, Moreton Bay off the hook, and certainly with the man advantage would hopefully press on and put Lions under some pressure.
So what effect will that have on this game? Played back for Borean.
Crowd getting a bit more animated after that red card as well, I feel.
Yeah, the Moreton Bay crowd just behind the technical area on the left-hand side there. Threaded through. Fox sizes up Borean. Will the referee bring it back for a free kick? No, she thought that the earlier challenge was okay. Janowski straight into the hands of Luke Borean. That's breathed a bit of fire into this game now. Jonty,
yeah,
have been lulling along there for a while, but
that's right. We're getting to the business end of the match now, and Jets certainly looking more enthusiastic in attack, that's for sure.
Smith lobbed one over. Sorry, not Smith. Yes, it is Smith. Lobbed one over for Campbell. Again, getting involved. The tall substitute.
Smith causing a few problems up there since he's come on in the 22/number 16, but nonetheless, certainly Simic got his hands full now with that big body up there as well.
Makwase come deep searching for the ball.
Sure, Warren Moon wasn't intending to bring on Nathan Reardon as his first substitute, so it'll be interesting to see how Lions see this game out. Obviously, coach has got one eye on extra time as well, but it would be nice to see a goal, and we'll see how the last 15-20 minutes go in this half, but a little bit of spice in the match now.
About to hit the midway point of this second half. Great to have your company here on a Sunday night. I think it's probably our biggest audience of the year that we've had so far.
Look, gets a bit worrying when referee starts calling free kicks a little bit after something's happened. I think Brindle South slid in there, but he's actually got the ball. And again, we're having another discussion and board meeting, and I think it just takes the pace out of the game. Too many stoppages, but if it's a free kick, let's give a free kick and just get on with it.
I think it's Sean Carlos giving his opinion.
There, yes. So just one of those. I don't think the ref gave it for the initial challenge, but then you hear the roar of the crowd and she blows the whistle. So hopefully that doesn't continue. I'll tell you what, for Moreton Bay, I don't think they want to slow this game down now with the man advantage as well. So they certainly want to get that pace going again and make these 10-man Lion players run a bit more.
Flag this time going Lions' way after the free kick was taken by Bays out at the other end of the park. Boring trudgingly just picks up the ball.
Yeah, they're looking to probably slow the pace down a little bit now, but not only for this match. That's a massive loss for Lions if they do manage to scrape through.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Tommy being probably one of their the best performers this season at the back there. So yeah, he'll be unavailable for the grand final if they can get there.
Brindle South mops up. Talented young defender that Tommy Jarrett is. Had some time in the Raw youth system. Meanwhile, here comes another attack from the Jets.
Great work there by Mitch Hall to track back. That's probably one of his main attributes as a holding midfielder. He gets back and helps out the defence as often as possible. Janowski on the ball, edge of the box in a good area.
Is indeed, and Harris, left foot attempted cross, skied away there by the Lions defender, slides past Harris. Medell in possession inside his own half though. Carlos will have to go and chase it down himself. Bernardi back to the keeper in Bazad.
Good pressure there by Lions. Haven't seen too much of Medell this second half, so that's certainly an area where Lions need to improve on. But again, I think Jet's doing a great job stifling his presence up front there.
As we said earlier, the talisman for Lions since coming to the club and scoring an all bar one game in a Lions shirt since joining from the Holland Park Hawks in mid-season.
Yeah, just gone a bit quiet, but I suppose like any good striker, if he gets the goal that wins in the game, you don't care if he's only had 3 touches the whole game. But yeah, certainly at the moment needs to get a bit more involved.
That's just going to hold up a little bit more than what Bazad was expecting, I think. Plays of handball, it's given against Janowski.
Yeah, can't have too many complaints there.
So both sets of supporters really riding every decision at the moment. Trying to will both their teams into this game with 20 minutes remaining.
I think all the coaches can sense the match is in the balance right now. All coaching staff are up off their seats at the moment. So certainly all to play for at this stage of the game.
It's going to be an eruption if this free kick is scored from. 4 in the wall, 3 in the wall for the Jets as Byrne drifts off.
Another great chance here for Thompson.
What can he do this time, Andy Thompson? Oh, just almost. In fact, Bazad had to get a touch on it.
Another great save there by the Jets keeper. He's having a blinder of a game so far. Sharp chance there by Thompson with one of the sharpest haircuts in the league. I thought you weren't allowed tracks once you pass 15 years old, but apparently they're back in.
Andy Thompson copping a hammering tonight from Jonty Richter.
But yeah, great save there again by the Jets keeper. He certainly is probably been their star man at the moment.
Just like Borean, one of the better keepers going around in the league. Here's Thompson this time from the corner. A couple of Moreton Bay Jets players slip inside the area, able to regain their feet. Carlos has got 2 players to deal with there, including Bernardi, who's scrapping for the ball. And another corner this time from the other side for the Lions. So a bit of sustained pressure here on the Moreton Bay defensive unit. The Lions be able to make this attacking possession pay.
Certainly if the 10 men can get a goal here, give them enough confidence to maybe see out this game. But I think it could go the other way. If Moreton Bay managed to steal a goal here, it could really knock the stuffing out the Lions.
Variation for Makwase, back out for Thompson. It's looped high. Reardon's going to be on hand to try and steer it somewhere towards the goal. Simic has gone down in the background meanwhile, so Lions are momentarily down to 9. As Simic regains his feet, he's clutching at his left ankle as the Jets attack down the other end of the park. And he's going to go down here.
Yeah, I think just rolled the ankle there in the box. Big Simic. He should be able to shake this one off, but certainly was a little bit of a collision there. Don't think too much in it. So give a shout out to Roachdale Rovers coach Scott McNichol watching at home, probably having a few party pies on the couch. It doesn't have next week to...
a couple of vodka cruises probably as well.
Yeah, a few of those.
His drink of choice.
They don't have a match to prepare for next week, unfortunately for them, but yes, drink responsibly. Yes. Scott.
Another victim of Jonty Richter tonight. Scotty McNichol watching his good mate Warren Moon side go around.
Simic seems to be all right there. Great work by the Lions physio, Andrew Vetter. So we've got a few gingers in our team as well, so...
There's nothing wrong with that, Jonty.
It's good to see the inclusion of the physio staff in that as well. But it's great to see the Gingers getting out there.
Nick Bernardi, of course, from Moreton Bay as well. So we're back underway after that stoppage. This is Campbell. Thompson is his opponent.
Ooh, not a bad effort there.
Was that Harris, I think? Tested Bayes out. Yes, it was.
Yeah, luckily for Borean, it was straight at him. Gobbled that one up, but again, a good attack there by Moreton Bay. Just can't get that clear-cut chance to fall their way at the moment.
Could have had an obstructed view with that one, Borean, but did well to react. Bernardi down the line in search of Fox, up against Brindle South. Lions momentarily look to have had possession. Purianavi picks up the ball, delivers it to one of his players to get the ball back into play very quickly and try and test this Lions defence. Reardon's forced to put a play on it and sends it into the upper tier of the car park.
Not sure that Scotty is drinking responsibly, but nonetheless, thanks for tuning in, Scott.
So change being made for Moreton Bay.
Is that young Fox going on?
I think it is. It's Brendan Fox.
Disappointing. He's been lively tonight. Maybe just run out of steam a little bit.
Lockie Strogat's the man coming on in jersey 19 with the distinctive surfy type hair. Yeah, Brenton Fox certainly did impress in the pre-season. Looked like it'd be a good thing for Moreton Bay this year. As I said before, had time in the youth league system down at the Mariners. Makwase, what magic can he conjure up? He's only got Medell in front of him. Once again, desperate work from Moreton Bay to stop Makwase's run. Campbell denied there by Thompson. Medell, they're calling it offside here against Medell. Sisters flag stays down, however. And a change being made for Lions now with John Carlos Solazano coming on. And it will be Mitch Hoare, the man, going off.
It's another interesting one because his engine's usually all firing, but yeah, a couple of big games. He's pretty much played every game and every minute of this season, so he's probably running out of puff as well. But Salazano had a great game in the FFA Cup. Hopefully can continue that form. He's had a few issues with hamstrings this year, but that's what happens when you hit the 30s. But yeah, I'm sure Lions are hoping that he can provide a bit of a spark up front there for him.
Undeniable pedigree of the former Raw and Victory man. Under a quarter of an hour to play, so both coaches have only got one sub up their sleeve in case it does go to extra time, which is sort of kind of looking inevitable at the moment.
Yeah, dare say one goal could win this game, but we'll have to wait and see.
Do you see someone from either side out there that might be a bit of a circuit breaker? And
yeah, well, I think Salazano coming on could prove the difference, but again, Jets are pressing well, got a few young legs up there now, and all it could take is one mistake, so I think both these sides got to just keep pressing.
Here's Strogat's misdirected that time.
Probably didn't warm up enough there, we'd say. We'll let him off that one, but not his best touch, that's for sure.
12.5 minutes until the completion of the 90. What do you think, folks? Are we going to see a breakthrough in regulation time, or are we off to extra time? Why don't you let us know your thoughts on the comments field of the Facebook post. Good to have so many of you watching on this evening. If you think there's going to be a winner inside the 90, who do you think that's going to come from? As I said, I sort of feel a bit of sense of inevitability at the moment that we're going to go in stoppage time, or extra time I should say. Lions again in no rush, obviously, with the numerical disadvantage. Any stoppages and slowing of play beneficial for themselves. Long throw in into the box. It's put away there by the Moreton Bay defender. Solizano is one of his first touches of the game. Harris is the man that will provide the defence. Kim involving himself in the midfield, slid along the ground by Solizano. Kim couldn't get to it, he's blocked by one of the defenders. Now Campbell off for Stroggets, referee playing advantage. Switch of play for Capello on this left-hand side, who's isolated Brindle South. Capello drifts one over towards Stroggets. Stroggets cuts back for Janowski. And Borean just...
Borean with his angles again.
Yeah, just looks at that going over the crossbar.
But yeah, game just opening up it a little bit there. And again, the Jets on the break there. Did well, the young legs. Oh, Borean's gone down with a... Hopefully nothing too serious. This would be...
Lower leg, it looks like he's clinching at. Physio will be brought on for... So Jonah's saying that the Jets are going to win. Ross Paxton thinks that it's going to be extra time and penalties. Lockie Reid watching on from London. Great to have your company in the morning, Lachlan. Probably heading up towards midday.
So all the money on the Jets going off those comments. So we'll wait and see what happens here. But more concerning for the Lions is Borean. I don't know if it's an ankle or what. But again, the physio getting a workout.
So just a reminder that it's the season deciders next week in the FQPL. Peninsula Power hosting Eastern Suburbs after both those sides recorded a 3-0 victory against their opponents in Logan and South respectively last night. I think I got the order wrong. Peninsula beat South and East beat Logan. In the women, the Gap up against the Raw NTC, who recorded an emphatic 4-1 victory here earlier this afternoon. And then it'll be Olympic up against the winner of this game. And as we've told you previously, while the outdoor season might be finishing next weekend, at least in the Queensland NPL, Lions are going to go on and play in the National LPL Championships. Southeast Queensland Futsal Premier League kicks off on September 29, 4 weeks away until the smaller version of the game, the indoor version of the game, as Borean is back up on his feet. And we're going to be able to continue. So we're going to have a fair amount of stoppage time in this second half. I reckon we're probably already ticking up towards at least 5 minutes of it. Solizano, once again, a crucial touch from Byrne.
Yeah, great tackle there by the experienced defender.
Stroggets builds up for Moreton Bay. Got 3 shirts surrounding him. Not a lot of support.
As well, though, wins this side a corner, so a good opportunity here for the Jets.
Jacob Alexander, the former Lions player, reckons Warren Moon might sub himself on. Well, he's not on the sheet. He came on in the FFA Cup game against Rochdale.
Calm down, Jacob. I'm sure Mooney would love to do that.
Jacob now plying his trade down the NPL Victoria after starting the season here at Lions after a switch from Souths in the off-season. It's going to fall for Campbell. Puts one in towards the penalty spot and hacked over the bar by Byrne.
I think someone in the Subaru up there thought they were safe parking behind the net, but he's managed to do well. I think that's landed in the boot. Free ball for whoever's in the car park, but he's making a run for it. No, just joking.
It's quite a unique viewing position up there. It's become a favourable position for some of the spectators to get up there.
It is quite a good spot. I think last couple of rounds ago, whether the Raw side here or the Raw hierarchy were up there, gives you a good view of the game, or keeps you away from the riffraff, one of the two.
Speaking of the Raw, they're continuing their pre-season matches. Had a draw against the Victory yesterday. going to be playing the FQPL Premiers Peninsula in a couple of weeks' time, as well as some games down at their new Logan precinct towards the end of September, start of October. Free kick taken. Medell, he's beaten the offside, but overhit. And we've got 6 minutes plus stoppages remaining, so probably a good 10 or 11 minutes of action still to come in this one. For either one of these sides to collect a winner, that would prevent extra time.
This stage looks like Moreton Bay at the moment.
Now off his line is Bayzad. Had to be accurate with the advancing Makwase. Backtracks to his line. No danger at the moment. Makwase. Kim. So it looks like both coaches are content at the moment to go with these lineups.
I suppose you can get into that false and get a bit cagey and just sort of try and get yourself to extra time, but sometimes it's probably worth just having a little bit of a go in the last couple of minutes here and put some real pressure on the opposition and sneak that winner, because it will only take one goal. Now obviously you don't want to leave yourself too exposed at the back, but it's worth having a little bit of a crack and maybe just putting it in the mixer, as they say, and you never know what can happen.
As we saw in the FFA Cup here, Lions versus Olympic. I'll break just a moment as it builds up again here for the Jets and Smith. Janowski. 3 Lions shirts again to the Jets player in possession. Thompson. Stroggets. Forced across the field, parallel though to the 18-yard line. Dinked away by Thompson. Even Solizano coming to help out in defence. Over the head there of Smith. Yeah, we saw in the FFA Cup game between Lions and Olympic. Olympic scored the equaliser. We thought we were going to extra time, and then up snuck Carter Glockner to score the winner, surprisingly. After it looked like it was destined to extra time, anything can happen. And we're under 4 minutes away from full time. Flag will go up here on the far side for offside against Stroggets. If we do go to extra time, Jonty, how do you think that Lions will handle only having 10 men to take into the extra 30 minutes?
Look, I don't think Warren Moon would mind too bad if he gets a chance to just have a chat to the guys and maybe get another little breather in there. Yeah, certainly Moreton Bay with the man advantage at the moment. Like I said, I think just try and get that ball forward and get a few extra numbers there and see what happens. But yeah, extra time again. It's one of those. Do you go hard early, or do you try and play it safe and hope that you get a goal on the break, or do you play for penalties? I don't think that's the Lions' way. So yeah, certainly be interesting to see if that's the case.
Harris, Campbell, and was there a trip? Yes, says the referee against.
Good experience there by Reed, and nice cover tackle as well. But I think he just left the legs in there, hoping for the foul as well, and smart play. But again, no rush from the Lions. I'm sure they're happy to see out this game just to get to extra time and have a nice chat and a breather and get some fuel in there and see how they go.
Looks like we'll be going beyond 9 o'clock on a Sunday night.
Don't mention
Surely it's triple time now, isn't it, Jonty?
Sure, I'd like to think so. I'm still waiting for that coffee that we ordered at half time, but maybe the canteen's a bit overrun at the moment.
So forward for Smith, the Wiley, Reardon shielding the ball across the sideline. 2 minutes plus stoppages remaining. Will we see a winner in this remaining time? Borean. Over the head of Solizano. Medell's going to arrive on the ball. Right into the park now for Lions.
Maybe one last dash here for the Lions, but interesting to see how many minutes of stoppage time. I'm not sure if we'll get the signal because there's no fourth official, unfortunately.
Flag goes up. Lions deemed to have infringed. And a yellow card coming Medell's way.
Look, all I can say is for the grand final, I hope they have a fourth official. Hopefully we can find it in the budget there somewhere.
There are fourth officials for the finals.
Just to give the referee a helping hand. But this instance right here is with the Jets. Maybe poor, just one extra body forward. Get it in the mix. I suppose that's the one thing you can take out of, let's say, the English game. Get those bodies forward and try get a goal.
Reardon getting involved. Solizano too physical for the likes of Casey Rybelt. Stroggets. Thompson. Bernardi now. Stroggets again getting involved, been busy since coming on as a substitute. We're ticking up to completing 90 minutes, so we are now into stoppage time. As I said before, I'd fancy at least 4, maybe 5 minutes. A couple of injuries. The send-off of Tommy Jarrett. Cool as you like. Borean reaches down low and releases Carlos, who in turn sets Medell on his way. Solizano in the middle of the park. Couldn't get to him. Carlos is going to hassle the defence and now the keeper. So a scurry of activity from the Jets, and this a bit of a late match charge from Lions.
Yeah, well done there from Carlos, chasing down a bit of a lost cause, especially this late in the game, but almost paid off their Lions in behind again, but just that final ball cross again would have been a tough one to pick out Solizano, but nonetheless didn't make it there.
Medell goes down, there's no contact. So it's just a matter of how much stoppage time Casey Rybelt will play and whether one of these sides can grab a late winner to stop this match from going into an additional 30 minutes. Solizano leaps high against Gwyn Jones.
Yeah, Lions in no rush whatsoever to get this ball back in play. So yeah, I dare say we're heading for extra time, and few fans asking the linesman for a bit of indication on the time added on, but he's concentrating right now on the line. Not that he's in too much danger of having to use his flag right now, but nonetheless a very focused assistant referee over here.
Bazad, what will his option be? It's Harris on this left-hand side of the park for the Jets. Couldn't control it, Capello. Carlos. Medell on that far touch line. Unable to draw the ball back in. Stroggets goes down, gets the contact and the decision. And the numbers start streaming forward for the Jets. Have they got a late winner in them? Sliding challenge in. Stroggets able to get back the ball. Played on by Bernardi. It's crossed the goal line.
Look, not a bad. Oh, hang on a minute. We've got another talking to, is it?
I think
goal
she was
kick?
just clarifying as a goal kick, yeah.
Not a bad run there by Moreton Bay down the right-hand side. But again, I think this late in the game, I think players, maybe it's the way we've been coached, but just get it in the box, get 4 or 5 guys around him and see if you can get a goal. Overplayed it a little bit there, and the goal kick, the result, extra time, here we come.
Indeed, so referee Casey Rybelt blows an end to the end of 90 minutes. And through an hour and a half, we still haven't had any goals here at Lions Stadium in this NPL semi-final between Lions FC and Moreton Bay. The players are going to take a quick break. We're going to as well. We'll be back with you on the other side of the break with the first period of extra time. It's 0-0, Lions and Moreton Bay. Yes, folks, we're still here. We're going to stick with you right through the duration of this game, through the next 30 minutes and possibly into penalties. The two skippers on the far side of the pitch conducting the coin toss for extra time. to decide who will have first possession in this extra 30 minutes. Looks like the sides are going to swap ends. 0-0 at Lions Stadium. Semi-final of the NPL Queensland, and I'm sure Ben Carn, the Olympic coach, watching on with a big smile on his face, seeing these sides go around for an extra 30 minutes. His Olympic side will take on the winner of this encounter. What do you think, Jonty? What do you think are the keys to one of these sides claiming a winner in the next half hour?
I certainly think having a crack at goal. We haven't seen too many shots in that latter half of the match. A lot of the play around the edge of the box, but sometimes you just got to pull the trigger. And that, as I said, sometimes we get in that trap of overplaying, which is fine week in, week out in the season. But I mean, this is basically a cup tie. The winner takes all. So you, at the end of the day, you got to get that goal. So it might be worth just one of those midfielders. Pull the trigger. You never know what can happen. It could end up in the car park, but it also could nestle in the top right-hand corner of the goal and write yourself into the history books with the winner. Rip the shirt off and celebrate. But you certainly got to have a crack because you're not going to score trying to walk it in the goal.
Extra time in the NPL semi-final. Lions Stadium. Lions versus Moreton Bay. Jonty and I have stayed up past our bedtimes on a Sunday night, and glad you could as well at home as well. That'll go Lions' way. Thompson impeded by the lanky substitute in Declan Smith.
All the subs still limbering up over there. I think it's the token. Just go warm up, guys, and we'll call you if needed. But, yeah, again, quite cagey. No team in a rush to get things moving too quickly. Of course, a lot of tired legs so late in this match and late in the season.
Stroggett, he's given it away cheaply. Handball was the call, and Casey Rybell duly obliged Lions the free kick. Free kick taken by Kim. Solizano, it wasn't Solizano, the Lions playing that far side. Medell just gets tangled up with one of his opponents. Warren Moon just having a chat to one of his players and providing some direction.
Another long throw here from Reardon. Certainly does have a long throw in his arsenal. And again, let's get it in the mixer and see what happens.
Kwase also making the run short. Reardon gives the signal to go, I'm going all the way into the box, guys. Didn't come off in the end, however. Brindle South, the man back for Lions, and
risky
Campbell
there.
just throws the head back and almost thought what could have been. Campbell again. This time it's Smith. There was a tackle in there from Reardon.
Good lunging tackle there. Back in position after taking that attacking throw, but yeah, nothing coming for it again for Moreton Bay. A lot of tired legs out there. I suppose the big thing is you don't want to be, don't want to make a mistake that costs your team the goal. But both sides need to really do press for that and maybe force one of those mistakes and get an easy goal.
Reardon, as you'd expect, directing the traffic out there, not backward in coming forward and being vocally involved in the game. Sure, when his playing career is over, he'll make a very good coach. School teacher, isn't he, I think?
Yes, and he's quite good with the banter as well. I think he gets under a lot of players' skin in the opposition, but I think he actually strives on that The more they hate him, the more he seems to like it and the better he seems to play. But he's definitely from the old school a little bit in that respect. Played in the Wynnum teams where they would clean up and win everything, but it wasn't the prettiest of styles, but it got the job done.
Definitely a noted winner. Knows how to win premierships and grand finals. It's Danny Kim. And Medell was just hassled off the ball. Casey Rybelt was content for the play to continue.
Yeah, Quinn Jones and Burns done quite well at the back there, the centre-back pairing. Haven't let too much in there, and Medell, as we said, been quite quiet this evening. Hasn't been able to boss around the centre-backs too much.
Janowski switch of play for Bernardi, and now Stroggitz, and leaping out to his right was Borean. There was a Moreton Bay player ghosting in towards the goal. Might have been Campbell. Makwase at the other end.
Good space here for Carlos.
He needs to inject himself a little bit more into this game. You'd fancy if he can do that, that might be the spark that Lions are looking for. Makwase turns, Bayzad spills it, nodded on by Carlos, into the back of the net. 95 minutes in, and Sean Carlos, I just said he needed a bit of a spark to perhaps inject into his side. He's fortuitously done that after Bayzad spilled the ball, and Lions have hit the lead.
Well, we talk about the commentators' curse. Maybe that was luck of the commentator there. You did say it, Rafe, that he certainly needed to get involved, and nice little play there by the Lions. And we've said it, have a crack from the edge of the box, and he certainly did that. Bayzad had to spill it, and Carlos following in with nice little header there off the crossbar. But yeah, certainly the Lions players delighted down there. The bench, even the coaches were up. Hopefully Moody didn't rip his pants there. But nice work again from Makwase.
Carlos was involved in the lead-up as well. Had the pass for Makwase, who then did a little jig around the defender, tested Bayzad, and then Carlos continued on his run and steered it just inside the right-hand upright.
Wasn't the best shot there by Makwase, but sometimes that's not too bad when you've mishit it and it dips and hits right in front of the keeper. It was really tough for him, and Shawnee Carlos with a nice little header there. Not much the keeper could have done. It was right in the top corner.
So the impetus now on Moreton Bay to try and find an equaliser against a 10-man Lions setup after Tommy Jarrett was sent off for a second yellow around about the hour mark. Certainly won't go down wondering, the Jets. They've made the finals twice before and gone through to the grand final. They'd be looking to continue that streak.
They still got the numbers advantage with the extra man, so I think they shouldn't get too disheartened at the moment. They just got to keep pressing and hopefully they get an opportunity as well. But we saw there, it doesn't always have to be the prettiest of goals. It's they still just put your name in the paper. They don't always say how it went in, and that could be the winner for the Lions.
Free kick against the Jets. Reedon going down.
I'm sure the Lions are going to be doing everything in their power right now to be delaying the game and just staying down here at the moment. The ref might want to give him a hurry along to get back up and get on with the game, or else he's going to have to get some treatment.
So if we thought that Lions were slowing down the play previously, Warren's going to use every delaying tactic before this free kick gets away.
Must be a bit careful though. He's on a yellow card. Certainly this referee, I don't think, would hesitate to give him a yellow card for time wasting. Certainly a bit more urgency from the Jets though.
7 minutes left in this first period of extra time. Reedon in a battle there. As the ball loops into the back of the net, Riley Campbell has equalised for Moreton Bay. Well, extraordinary stuff. Borean was caught just a fraction off his line. Campbell spotted it And he's duly put it into the back of the net. And just 3 minutes after the Lions scored the breakthrough goal, Moreton Bay have equalised the ledger once more.
Nice little finish there. A good little touch, perfectly weighted, right underneath the crossbar. Not too much Borean could have done about that. He was caught off his line slightly there, but I think he would have thought he's in a good position there, and it's actually a really good finish by the Moreton Bay attacker. So, well, fair play to him back in this match, and certainly didn't take a backward step after the Lions goal.
So it's game on again.
Always the way, though. Straight after a goal, that's the perfect time to attack. Usually the other side maybe just rest on their laurels a little bit, and all to play for as we see our Moreton Bay substitution.
So we didn't look like we were going to see any goals after 95 minutes. All of a sudden we've had 2 in 3 minutes as Nick Bernardi will take his leave. And the third and final substitution for the Jets. We'll make out that player in just a moment. He comes on as Nick Bernardi receives a very warm round of applause. It's 6 Sam Dickinson that enters the fray for Moreton Bay. He'll just hold his position away from this corner being taken by Lions. Knotted on by Carlos. Scored the
offside
first goal for Lions. Flag gone up. Yep. And Casey Rybelt wants it taken in the right position on the specific blade of grass that she's asked for.
Moreton Bay with a bit of a spring in their step though after that equaliser. So yeah, again they've still got that man advantage which they need to try and work in their favour. Maybe play the ball around a bit more, keep moving this Lions side.
Harris had to recover well. Ball just wasn't hit as well as what he was expecting from Byrne. Sent forward by Thompson onto the right for Stroggets, who takes a heavy deflection off the chest and it's forced back into the defensive half of the Jets. Again, they're in the attacking half. However, that's going to be a fraction too far for Smith to chase down. And Boring will pick it up at the last minute. 4 minutes of this first half of extra time. If you've only just joined us, where have you been? This game has sparked to life in the last 6 minutes or so. Sean Carlos scoring the 95th minute in extra time before Riley Campbell equalised for Moreton Bay. That's how we've got to 1-1 after a scoreless 90 minutes of regulation time. We keep on saying spot on the line in next week's grand final against Olympic. Lions will host if they win, otherwise the Jets will be travelling to Goodwin Park. Well, Smith be able to make his height pay there? No, because there was a good shield from the Lions player for Borean to come out and collect the ball. Literally has slowed down to a walk at the moment. As the train rattles off behind us on the Springfield line.
Just hope Lions got the licence to keep the lights on after 10 o'clock in this neighbourhood. If we go to penalties, dragging on a little bit on a Sunday night. But, yeah, still plenty to play for. Another half of extra time to come.
And no one's left. They're still on the balcony in the club and underneath in the grandstands. Probably a crowd of about 300 or 400 watching on tonight.
Sure, the people up on the balcony are enjoying those heaters up there as the temperature continues to drop here.
Away by Thompson. Solizano, the lone man up top for Lions. Campbell, the goal scorer for Moreton Bay. Capello, just wide of the uprights.
Young Riley Campbell coming in his own a little bit. That goal certainly gave him a fair bit of confidence, but he's looking sharp and wanting to be on the ball, which is what you want as a coach at this time in the game. Players who really want the ball rather than go hiding in the corners, feeling a bit tired. But these are the moments, and you know, you got to stand up and be that player who goes, I want to win this for my team, and maybe just do that something a bit extra, maybe something outside the game plan a little bit as well. And as we saw there with Riley, a nice little finish on a long ball through, and a goal the result.
Cannons off Medell's head. A minute of extra time remaining before the sides will switch ends. Fancy that both sides would be relatively content to finish this period of 15 minutes at 1-1. The Jets look like they'll have final possession in this first half and probably have a chance to try and conjure up something. Not with passes like that from Harris, however.
Good composure there from Reardon at the back, under a little bit of pressure. But, yeah, I think second half could be interesting. I think both sides will stay the same, again, not overcommit, but certainly Moreton Bay looking slightly better at the moment. Maybe that extra man is finally paying off, and a bit more fitness in the legs, really making the Lions side run and chase this ball.
It's Campbell there. Again, the two number 9s opposing each other. Janowski and then Harris. Hadn't crossed the whole of the line. Janowski, former Wolves teammate there in Reardon. Referee was looking for the advantage. Solizano is brought down by Janowski. Referee Casey Rybell will bring it back for the earlier infringement against Sean Carlos, as we've now completed 15 minutes. So this is probably the final play of this first half of extra time.
Yeah, not much commitment from Lions to get players forward, but certainly worth getting the big boys Salazano and Medell up there and just pop one in the mixer.
Solizano and referee Casey Rybell blows an end to this first period of extra time. A goal each. Firstly, Sean Carlos on 95 minutes before Riley Campbell equalised just 3 minutes later for Moreton Bay. So 105 minutes of football done, and it's 1-1 between Lions and Moreton Bay. We're going to take you right through the second period of extra time and penalties if required. We're going to be with you right through to the duration. Jonty and I might need the sleeping bag first.
Well, I just saw the Lions groundsman come out on the field. He wants to turn the sprinklers on. He's usually getting a bit of water on the pitch at this time of night. But, yeah, we're here till the end, so it's not now, Mick. Get back in the shed, sharpen those mower blades, mate. No sprinklers just yet.
So both teams have just gone over to the respective technical areas again to grab a drink.
I tell you what, I don't think this assistant referee's got the memo, but if he needs, he could pop over and have a chat to the other referees. But he has not left his mark, and he is ready to call offside if needed.
Quite dutiful. Casey Rybell and Anton Chittenden on the far side taking a sip of water.
Luke Borean taking his time as he does.
He'll just lumber up.
Referee giving them the hurry on now, though. Moreton Bay ready to go, and Lions just making them wait.
Well, Borean didn't even make it to the huddle in the end. He's having a few quiet words to Jason McQuarrie.
A few supporters giving the old come on, lads, but not too enthusiastic from either set of supporters. I think they're both a bit worried. But, yeah, Moreton Bay just getting on top there late in that second half, so they need to continue that. Just keep moving the ball side to side, make those Lions players run. But at the same time, they've got to get that ball forward as well. So find that little opening. It's easy to keep the ball, but you've got to create that chance that'll hopefully win you this match.
So the second period of extra time in this NPL semi-final gets underway. We're still locked at 1-1 at Lions Stadium. Just when we thought that Lions had their nose ahead, Moreton Bay brought the Premiers back to the field once again. Great to see almost 450 people still watching on.
Not a bad effort there, but always going wide. Borean had it covered. But again, yeah, Moreton Bay just carrying on where they left off there. Getting the ball high and wide nice and early, and causing a little bit of pressure there. But again, Simic and now Reardon at the back, gobbling those ones up. And both sets of centre-backs have played quite well this evening and hasn't given too many opportunities away.
Frank Levy watching on and cheering on the Jets. As we see the former Jet, Luke Borean, send this goal kick to the halfway line. Hacked away by Simic. There's one man there for Lyons and Medell. Over the head of Kim. That's a second bite of the cherries. He tries to steer it towards the mid-season recruit, Marek Medell. Makwase, along with Solizano. Makwase from long range. Kim's one along the ground. Didn't quite get the purchase he was looking for.
A little ambitious from there from Jace, but I think, again, probably tired legs. He didn't have the energy to run it any further. Might have slipped in Salazano, but one of those. If he hits it right, could nestle in the top corner. It's worth a dig there, but not too bad running from Medell up there, putting pressure under the Jets centre-backs with those high balls, even though he's got no hope of winning the ball, which is some good centre-forward players. Jets have an opportunity here.
Yeah, breaks there for the Jets. Strogerts with the attempted turn. Steered wide
Smith,
of the target.
He's called it off Strogerts there, and it's certainly the right option, but he's skewed his shot wide, and in those situations, I know we're tired and late in the match, but you really got to make the keeper work for that one. It's worth taking a little bit of heat off it just to get it on target and make the keeper save it.
It's another goal kick from Borean, and he'll steer in similar fashion to the previous one. This time it makes it over the halfway line. Bit of head tennis between the two sides. Kim, the latest one, with a touch off his noggin. Dickinson, the latest substitute for Moreton Bay, up against, finds one of the other substitutes in Strogerts. Dickinson again. Janowski will just take a moment to compose himself. Now at the feet of Capello. Strogerts off the chest of Capello. Two Lions players come to him. And a heavy deflection off Kim for a corner.
Yeah, good play there. I think Dickinson, the ball came in from Strogerts, but he's tried to let it run across his body and play with the inside of his left foot. Very difficult skill to do, where it doesn't matter how bad your weaker foot is, technically you should just swing that right peg at it. It'll take it across goal. You never know, it might curl in that far post, but yeah, I mean, the best players in the world might be able to do that. Unfortunately, at the NPL level, I don't think that one's coming off.
So it's a low skimming corner. Come back out for the corner taker in Thompson, who is found to be in an offside position and will protest his case to the assistant. But
great decision there, but one of those, just a little bit lazy, probably ball watching as he's taken the corner, and even though he's run back onto an onside position, certainly came from an offside spot.
So the final substitution for Lions about to take place.
Chris Mars coming on, looks like.
He could be a bit of a game changer. Josh Brindle South looks like the man who will be coming off.
Certainly done a lot of Ks recently, so I think it's one of those. He's not too happy about going off, but I also think he's probably out of gas.
Shaking the hand of the referee.
He'll be happy to get off though. He needs this SP 30 plus under these 450 lumen lights, poor Joshy. So get him in there, get the aloe vera on, and a couple of ice packs, and he'll be right for next week.
Look, Jonty, you're picking on me because I was a redhead as a kid.
I know.
He's going to get booked. He's going to get booked, yep, for time wasting. So take a yellow ticket with you as you go, Josh.
A couple of extra whistles by the referee as well.
Chrissy Marr finally makes his appearance.
Look, I know how it is for the redheads. I've been short all my life, so he copped those jokes as well. So that's it. But Chris Marr on, and he's got about 10 minutes to make a mark on this match. Hopefully it's a positive one for the Lions.
What do you reckon, folks? Are we going to find a winner in the remaining 9 minutes or so? Or are we off to the dreaded penalty shootout? I'd suggest the latter, the way things are going at the moment.
Does look like it, but you never know. There could be another opportunity in this match. Whether or not someone takes it is another matter.
Probably hear plenty of talk going on out there. Thompson seems to have gone back into the back line. Just trying to see what other switches might have happened. Maybe with the substitution of Dickinson. That's forced a change of formation for coach Purianavi. Relieving free kick for Lions.
Chris Marge is slotted into left back here, just where Brinda South was, so no change there for the Lions.
Much like Nathan Reid, and can play in a variety of positions. Chrissy Marr coming over from Souths in the off-season after a stint at the Brisbane Strikers. Medell, a leap in the air against Janowski. Makwase, and there's an earlier free kick that the referee is playing advantage for with Solizano brought down.
Yeah, Casey's done well there. She's played advantage, which wasn't resulting with Makwase not getting the ball, but another free kick for Lions in a fairly dangerous position.
So midway through the second period of extra time. Chance for Lions from a free kick, and Andy Thompson once again to step up to take it.
Another tough one, sort of central, which is you've always got to be quite composed, not too much pace on the ball, just a real good area. Just about on the penalty spot is where he's looking here, and hopefully someone can attack it, maybe just tempt the goalie to come off the line a little bit, but see what happens.
Here is Thompson's effort. There's a Lions player, Reardon, going down in the background, but more of a collision with his former Wolves teammate, Alex Janowski. Played short by Bazad. Byrne for Gwyn Jones. And again, Byrne involved. Thompson. Janowski's calling for it on this near side for a switch of play. It's going to run a fraction too far for the two advancing Jets players, as it's once again shielded across the byline.
Yeah, good play there by Chris Mark. Could have panicked and maybe kicked it out for a throw-in, but he's done well, stayed composed and just sort of threw a dummy and goal kicked the result.
6 minutes of extra time remaining.
Spectators starting to do a few warm-ups. I think everyone getting a bit chilly out here on the sideline.
Might see a migration very shortly down to the end of the park that the penalties will be taken at if we get to that stage. On the break here for Lions and Solizano. Moreton Bay Jets hands go up for offside. It's across the sideline regardless on that far side.
Solizano looking lively late in this match, but not quite coming off for him now. I think Carlos also a bit out of juice there and just couldn't rein that ball in.
There are some tired legs out there at the moment. Gwyn Jones. Strockets are still active though, coming on as a substitute, still a little bit fresh. Some legs in his.
Yeah, not a bad ball there by Gwyn Jones, but always tough when you're hitting them that straight. Got to be really, really accurate. But yeah, made it easy work there. Luke Borean's a very good keeper in terms of his sweeping, as they call it, across the back there, where he's not afraid to come out and gobble up those balls, and certainly makes it hard for you to put them in behind without him intercepting them.
Borean once again goes long. Medell with the leap. Thompson. Looks like he could go all night. Moreton Bay with the ascendancy now in their forward third, with 4 minutes of extra time remaining.
Coaches are up again. Everyone's getting a bit nervy. Certainly one chance will do it now, you'd think.
Borean punches away. He thought he might have earned a foul as he was cannoned into, I think, by Janowski. Makwase. Once again, whistle is blown.
Lucky to get away with that one there. Certainly played for that. Very little contact, but not the best area to be dribbling the ball when your team's trying to get out of defence, and yeah, very lucky to get that free kick.
Perhaps a little guilty sometimes of trying to do a little bit too much with the
don't mind those fancy feet
Colombian
if he's in the
flair,
attacking third, but not really in almost the defensive third, that's for sure.
Handball claims right in front of the Moreton Bay bench and supporters. Makwase straight into the hands of Bayzad, who looks to launch the Jets very quickly. Simic on hand. Janowski. Dickinson now. Releases Stroggets. Chrissy Marr in there with the work. He's be collected there by Stroggets.
Goal kick. Not sure what the linesman was doing there. Thought he was a physio for a second, coming to check on the players, but yeah, probably good decision by the referee. Sliding tackle there, but not too much in it. Goal kick the result.
2.5 to go, folks. Well, we're going to penalties if there's no addition on the current score.
A lot of hands on hips, a lot of walking players. I'm certainly left it all out here on the park tonight, but a couple of minutes to go. You never know. Someone could be the hero.
Over 600 now watching on Facebook. 400 on YouTube, so that's 1,000. First time we probably would have hit 4 figures this year. Thanks for staying up on a Sunday night. It's going to be an entertaining end to this game, regardless of whether we can sort it out in extra time.
Great sweeping there by the Moreton Bay keeper. We just talked about Borean at the other end, but he's done a great job too. Bit of gamesmanship there from the Moreton Bay bench, kicking the ball away, but the referee none the wiser at the moment.
Nathan Reardon content to play along. Long throw in into the box.
Bit of miscontrol there by Simic. I think he tried to do the old Chester to the teammate, but didn't quite come off there.
Almost a bit of miscommunication amongst the Moreton Bay defence as well as Makwase.
Maybe one last chance here for the Lions as Borean thinks he's coming up for that one, but Mooney quickly signals him back in his cage. Thompson needs to make this one his best corner of the night to give Lions any chance of snatching this game at the death.
Inside the last 60 seconds. Could we have late drama here at Lions Stadium? Clump of players around the penalty spot, now breaking away. A lot of fancy footwork. Bayzad, I think he was fouled, and yeah, referee Casey Rybald has spotted it. So the Jets.
Great tackle.
Sean Carlos.
By Shawnee Carlos. I'll tell you what, we've called every other free kick back to the exact blade of grass, and that one was about 8 metres off the mark, and we've let that play on. It's just that inconsistency that sometimes grates
Lions
on
player
me,
flat on his back in the back. Plays Dickinson.
Smith.
Plays in Smith. Desperate work there from the defender.
Certainly was a free kick on the keeper, but...
Stroggets! Well, it's a bit of pinball inside the box. 120 minutes complete. We're into stoppage time now. There's a Lions player.
All happening.
Makwase with cramp down in the opposite penalty area.
Good sportsmanship there by the Moreton Bay keeper, stretching it out for him. But, yeah, a few chances at both ends there.
As soon as this free kick's taken, I think we'll be done.
Surely.
There's Medell's accent. Asking, how did I get a yellow?
Final substitution coming up here for Lions, looks like. The old...
Medell showing a bit of frustration. He's a really nice guy to talk to off the field, but sometimes just gets a little bit carried away with the situation.
Certainly don't want to get in the wrong side of the referee right now, especially if you can get through on penalties and make that grand final. You don't want to be sitting on the sidelines for that.
So we're going to go and check on Jason Makwase's welfare. The physio now out attending to him. Yeah, Luke Borean's asking whether they get an extra sub. Because I think Lions have already made their 3, haven't they?
They have. I mean, they've had the rule in the international level where you get the extra sub in extra time, but
and I think that's where the confusion's come in, because in the FFA Cup that rule is in place with the extra sub.
But
saw it in the World Cup, but obviously hasn't hit the NPL yet. And I think
the assistant referee over this side seems to think that you don't get the extra sub.
I think Luke's talking to Ted Carney down there, the referees coach from Football Queensland.
All happening here.
So Makwase is going to trudge off to the sideline. Mooney is still confused as to whether they get an extra sub or not.
Linesman doesn't know. He's putting both hands up now. He's given up.
So Makwase goes to the sideline. And the substitution will be able to take place.
The referees allowed it. So that'd be an interesting one.
So it's Liam Cosgrove. 1, 2.
Supposedly we've just got the confirmation from the referees boss that you can't make an extra sub. So it's going to be an interesting one there as we go to penalties.
Pretty sure that was the 4th, wasn't it, Jonty? Maybe I miscounted, but anyway,
we're
going off the penalties.
We need to look at, but we had Reardon on, we had Carlos on, Chris Marr on, and Salazano, as well as Cosgrove. So certainly 4 substitutions there for the Lions. We've got a bit of contention there with the number of substitutions. We're certain Moreton Bay have only made 3, but nevertheless we're at penalties.
And indeed we are, and Moreton Bay will be asked to drop 1 player off because Lions are down to 10 men. So it'll be interesting to see who doesn't contest the penalty shootout for Moreton Bay. But both goals coming in the first half of extra time. Firstly through Sean Carlos for Lions on 95 minutes before a quick equaliser from Riley Campbell on 98. And now we're into the gamble of penalties. And 2 of the best shot stoppers in Queensland will be the focus in this shootout. Luke Borean for Lions and Bayzad for Moreton Bay.
Certainly, I'm not sure about the Moreton Bay keeper, but I'm certain Luke Borean will want to take a penalty here tonight. He's certainly doesn't mind stepping up and has that confidence. But,
Did so in the penalty shootout win in the FFA Cup against Rochedale.
He actually took one in the season for Lions, but that one was saved out as Ipswich. Actually, it was a screamer of a penalty and even better a save. So, it'd be good to see tonight. But, as I say, big kicks coming up, lots of pressure, big soccer kicks coming up, and all the pressure on the penalty takers. So it'd be interesting to see which players step up.
And, of course, the only man in shorts around at Lions Stadium is Ian Delzell, who makes his way around to the broadcast side of the
What a legend.
field.
I mean, he's pretty much seen everything in football.
He's only seen about 47,000 games
That's
of football,
right. So he'll tell you exactly what's going on with the 4 substitutions.
That's probably why he's over talking with Ted Carney at the moment.
I'm pretty sure he was there when they wrote the rules back in 1884. So he'll certainly know.
We all love Dazzles.
Absolute legend, and good to see him doing well.
Of course, had that health scare a couple of years ago, and great to see him, as Johnny said, going around. So Moreton Bay are prepared for their penalties. Lions still in their huddle. The 2 captains once again conducting a coin toss. I think we're going to go to the...
The
groundsman's out doing the penalty spot.
He's marking the penalty spot. He must have forgot to put that on this afternoon. Good one, Mick. But, it looks like, I don't know how to describe it other than the car park end.
So everyone is drifting now down to the left of screen to get behind the goals and take in the...
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we're going down the other end to the penalty shootout.
Susie Hilton got the end wrong. So we're heading off down to the left-hand side.
Is that the Pine Road end? Is that what it's officially known as? We're not sure, but all the kids will running down there. They were confused as well and have gone up the wrong side. Casey, the referee, handles down there, as do the keepers, and it looks like Moreton Bay's got the first one with Janowski stepping up. So,
what's it like in this situation? Firstly, if you're just standing in the middle of the park, but then if you are actually a penalty taker?
Oh, look, I suppose every player is different, but certainly in these situations, you either want to be the person taking it or you don't want to be the person taking it. So it's obviously that confidence thing where I'm certainly the goalkeepers are the ones in the advantage. But yeah, I suppose any soccer player, you've taken a million penalties in practice in juniors, and you've just got to man up and bury it.
So Reece Gwynn-Jones will be the man for Moreton Bay that won't take part in the penalty shootout because Lions have finished with 10 men. So that means that Moreton Bay can only have 10 in the shootout as well.
So it gets him off the hook anyway.
So
wonder if he was a volunteer in that one. Who wants to come? Oh, me! Oh.
He's number 11 and he's off. He's off. He's going to take a drink.
Saved off the crossbar there. Janowski misses the first one for Moreton Bay. But yes, advantage Lions at this stage. Andy Thompson walking up there, but Janowski very disappointed with his penalty there. He struck it well, hit the crossbar, and Moreton Bay, none from one.
Tried to put it high. So the opening attempt for Moreton Bay has been missed, and it's Andy Thompson.
Tomo stepping up here for Lions. Moreton Bay keeper facing the wrong way at the moment. That's an interesting tactic. But making Thompson wait here. Let's see what he can do.
Here he is, Andy Thompson, and save from Baysad.
He's pushed it, looked like onto the post there. Great save, but 0-0. Both sides missing their opening penalty kick there, and great save by the keeper again. Certainly the two keepers have been very involved in this match this evening. Thompson again very disappointed, as it was Janowski, and yeah, 0-0 after one penalty. Moreton Bay back in this game.
Next man up is Matt Capello for Moreton Bay. I said these were two of the better shot stoppers in the NPL Queensland. Boring didn't need to get a hand to his, but Baysad equal to the task. So here's Matt Capello. And a save again, this time from Borean.
Great save there by Borean. Slow run up Capello. You either got to be really good or know what you're doing. But again, Borean, great save there, and disappointment for the young fella. 0 from 2 for Moreton Bay. Vantage Lions.
So the first three penalty kicks have been missed in this shootout. Can Sean Carlos break the deadlock? We didn't have any goals in 90 minutes. Is that trend going to continue in the penalty shootout? So once again, Baysad back-faced.
Shawnee Carlos stepping up here for the second penalty for the Lions club, and taking his time with his run-up. Dead silence around the ground at the moment.
Could hear a pin drop. It's just Jonty and I breaking the silence. Baysad's on his line. Carlos, as Jonty said, taking his time, finally steps up, takes the spot kick, and he becomes the first man to score in this penalty shootout. And after two, Lions lead 1-0.
Not the longest of run-ups. Sometimes, my own personal opinion, don't take a short run-up. It's quite hard to get some pace on the ball. I think it also gives the goalkeeper a chance to read what you're going to do. But yeah, perfect penalty there by Sean Carlos. Keeper went the right way, but had no chance. He had great pace on the ball. Matt Byrne stepping up now for Moreton Bay's third penalty.
The experienced of Matt Byrne slots the first penalty away for Moreton Bay in this shootout to level up momentarily. Easy. And Marek Medell is the next man up for Lions.
Still the advantage to Lions now with their third penalty, but yeah, great centre-backs. They're always composed there. No pressure on him there, just slotted in the corner. Great penalty.
So Medell. I said during the game, has been the talisman for Lions since his arrival at the club. Can he keep that on trend as we tick up towards 10 o'clock on a Sunday evening
Bit of
in Brisbane?
gamemanship from the keeper there, telling him which way he's going.
Has he got in Medell's head?
Ridiculous. What's that called? The Panenka? I mean, good confidence there from him to just chip that one in. I think he gave it back to the keeper a little bit there after his gamesmanship before the penalty was taken. But Borean strolls in, having a chat to the supporters behind the goal as he does. Just like he's playing a park game, not a semi-final for the NPL here in Queensland.
2-1 after 3 kicks.
Big pressure on this kick.
Perfectly placed on the spot.
Well, he's just moved it back about 2 ball lengths. So I don't know what he was trying to get away with there, but at least the referee spotted it.
Here's Thompson. Oh, he's put it onto the uprights. The bad luck for Moreton Bay in this shootout continues. And if I've done my maths right, it'll be Luke Boring that will step up here and to win the game for Lions.
Yeah, he's tried a bit of a tricky run up there to try and put the keeper off, but he's sent him the wrong way, but he's just sprayed that one well wide. And, yeah, big chance here for the Lions to make it through to that grand final.
So we mentioned that Boring, you did take the 4th penalty against Rochdale in the FFA Cup win back in round 6. He's going to step up again against his opposite number in Bayzad to send Lions through potentially to a grand final in their inaugural season in the NPL Queensland. Here's the Lions gloveman. Steps up slowly and slots it away low to the left. Lions are through to the 2018 NPL Queensland Grand Final. All the heroics and theatrics coming from Luke Borean, who's evaded all his teammates so far. He goes to the fence. Moreton Bay are heartbroken. It won't be back-to-back title defences from them. The 2 grand finalists from last year are knocked out at the semi-final stage this year, and it will be at Lions Stadium again next week that will have the NPL Grand Final with Lions facing off against Olympic.
Yeah, great finish there. Perfect penalty, low and hard. And probably on the play of the whole season, Lions deserve the grand finalists, but tough way to lose for Moreton Bay.
Let's firstly talk about this game, John T. No goals through the first 90. It took Sean Carlos to break the deadlock and then Riley Campbell to equal shortly after. Then we got to the inevitable penalties. What did you make of the match overall?
Yeah, very cagey. I mean, you could put it down to tired legs from the Lions, maybe with the FFA Cup in the midweek, but also Moreton Bay not letting them play their normal game. And as I said, very cagey game. Finally got a goal in extra time, which sparked this game into life. Referees did a decent job overall. But yeah, always a tough way to lose on penalties. Some people don't like them, but I quite enjoy watching a penalty shootout, and it really takes a bit of mettle to step up there and finish it off. And yeah, what a way to win it. Luke Borean, nice firmly struck penalty, low and hard, and a bit of antics from him at the end there to put Lions through to a grand final, which good to see the top 2 teams, Lions and Olympic, take out the grand final spots and fight it out next week for a champion.
And just before we do go off air, a quick thought on next week's grand final between Lions and Olympic.
Look, I think Lions have shaded Olympic in the season so far, so it'd be hard-pressed to go past Lions again. But as we said, grand final, you never know. Olympic, they've been there before, they've done it. It'd be a great game.
Well, thanks very much, everyone, for sticking with us in the late shift this evening on Sunday night. Thanks, John T. Richter, for joining us. I think you'll be back with Simon next week for the NPL Grand Final between Lions and Olympic. I'll be at the FQPL Grand Final between Peninsula Power and East. Keep an eye on the Football Queensland socials and the website. Probably late tomorrow, the times and venues will be announced for those grand finals. But from here at Lions Stadium, And on behalf of Jonty Richter and the whole team, it's Rafe Griffin signing off. Lions are through to the 2018 NPL Queensland Grand Final. 1-1 after extra time. It's Lions who win on penalties 3-1. Thanks very much for joining us, everyone, and a good night.